Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning, San Antonio. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. I'm AJ. Thank you. That's Rob.
Welcome into our little world.
Welcome to Thunderdome.
Oh,
did you not want to play Thunderdome today?
there's a dude across the street used to do this. Used to call it the Thunderdome.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
This is the first time I've ever called my show Thunderdome. It just hit me, and
he called it for that was his gig. That was his thing.
What's he do now?
He's a podcaster.
I guess I better put that away before something bad happens to me. Just kidding. Just kidding. It's a Wednesday. Come on, baby. Right? Yeah. What day?
Hump day.
What day?
Hump day.
Come
What
on.
year?
What's going on there?
She's tired.
Yeah.
Okay? She was wore out.
Boy.
Had to stop and squat.
Pop a squat there. And remember that you're wearing not much at all. It is a Wednesday. It's an Olympic Wednesday.
It is, man. Did you awake with a renewed energy and vigor?
No, I did not.
You didn't feel the Olympic
movement
this morning?
The Olympic spirit
The torch
didn't move me.
didn't move. You're moving. All
Well,
right. Well,
what a game yesterday. What a game. What a game.
I think Team USA is rounding into form.
Yeah, they look like they're going to be okay. We'll talk about them coming up on the show. Vic got his testosterone boost yesterday. So
Man's
he's in here
bouncing off the
flexing.
walls,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah, get it. Maybe another day or so.
Talk about vigor.
Okay.
I'm jealous.
Do you ever mix it with Jack Daniels just to see what happens?
No.
That was the second kid.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, how do you expect to really know how your testosterone's affecting you if you don't get
We
whiskey
talked to
drunk?
Mrs. Brown.
Yeah, just talk to her and she'll tell you.
Well, we asked this the other day.
Yeah.
We never brought this result to the
No,
air.
Oh,
we did
yeah.
not. And it was not the kind of response I think Vic was hoping for.
Yeah, I was kind of like, man, it's never gonna happen, man.
Don't you want her to just say okay, so the hypothetical that I approached Vic with, Vic, who's in terrible health. I mean, this guy is just a walking disaster when he's a walking
I'm a walking
bill.
co-payment.
Yeah.
He's a walking co-payment.
I said, what would you do? Like if I said you knew you were only going to live 2 more years of this life.
Yeah.
But I came to you with a potion and said, you can drink this potion and it guarantees you 15 years of good and healthy life. But you become a woman when you drink the potion.
Right.
You get to, you'll still have your same, you'd keep the same job. You would, your wife would still be married to you. It would be a lesbian relationship.
And you'd be an attractive woman.
Yeah,
you would not be unattractive.
No.
Oh,
What, Vic? As a man, what do you think you are? 1 to 10?
5, 6.
Okay.
You're a solid 6, Vic. Don't sell yourself short.
Okay.
So he'll be a 5.5 as a woman if he's a 5'6".
5.5 where?
As a
Like 5.5 New York, 5.5.
5.5 in San Antonio.
Ukraine.
I'm
San Antonio. I mean, it's a relative thing.
Do you think Vic's an LA 6 as a dude right now?
I'm just asking.
Or is he a San Antonio
I'm
6?
just asking. So,
Like you think you're a San Antonio 6, right?
Right. Yeah.
You're not a Hollywood 6.
No,
Oh,
I'm a
he's
Hollywood.
a Hollywood 8.
No.
Like if that dude showed up to clean Johnny Depp's bathroom, he'd be like, "No, get out."
So you're a San Antonio 5, a solid 5.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm halfway.
You're take her home to Mama 5. I got you.
So I said, Vic, ask your wife, because Vic's initial thought was, no, I don't want to. I'd rather die in 2 years.
Yeah, I wouldn't want
As
to
a
become a woman.
dude.
Yeah.
Than live 15 more years as a man. And I was like, man, how do you think his wife and kids would feel about that? Like, you think they want Vic around?
Yeah, but no.
And I said, Vic, ask your wife, come back and report. What did Mrs. Vic have to say about you becoming a woman and her being involved in a lesbian relationship?
She said no. She does not want to be with a woman ever, and she's strictly man. So the answer is no. And when she told me that, I guess that leaves that out.
Then I decided to check on out.
Yeah, might as well.
Does it make you feel like when you told her no, but honey, I would be dead in 2 years?
Yeah, it says, well, I'll be gone in 2 years.
And then all she cared about was, no, I will only have sex with a man.
Yeah.
Does that make you think that after you die, she's going to find a new man?
Oh, yeah.
I think that goes without saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a given.
I mean, of course she says
she's not
now
dead,
she's
though.
not.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
But do you worry about, how's he going to be?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
yeah, I try to think not to think about it, but it's just more of it's going to happen.
Is he going to use your tools?
Is he going to move into the home?
Yeah. Is he going to wear your clothes?
Is he going to drive my car? I know.
Is he going to wear your CeeDee Lamb jersey?
Oh.
No.
No.
You better get buried in it.
Yeah,
then.
She's coming in the coffin with me.
You better get buried with it. That might be the most San Antonio Mexican thing you could do is get buried in your CeeDee Lamb jersey.
Perfect.
Vic truly loved the Cowboys.
Yeah.
truly loved the Cowboys. But yeah, I would be worried about that. Do you worry about that still?
Me?
Rob? Yeah.
About
if you die, do you think Mrs. Rob would?
Hope she carries on.
Well, yeah, but
I'm gone, baby.
Right, but do you are you worried about with whom?
No.
Really?
Why? Why would I worry about such things?
I don't know.
I am gone.
There's bad scenarios.
I mean, you do think about it, but there's no
point.
point.
I don't even think about such things.
I did.
I am literally gone.
It's getting close for you. Let's face it.
So
You're on the precipice.
Carry on. Go live your life.
Is there anyone that you'd be upset about?
No.
So if
she, the way I look at it, if she made a poor decision, serves her as right.
Okay, so if you died and your father said, Kelly, move into the house.
Listen to your weirdness. I'm
just saying. I said, is there any scenario? You said no.
Why would I? Of course. I mean,
okay, so there's one scenario.
There's lots of scenarios.
Okay, I just wanted to know which ones would upset you.
Well, for the average and normal human being.
What about Vic?
If they hit it off, I think Vic's a fine dude. Keep in mind, I am gone. I mean, sure. I mean, they both will serve ramifications of their actions, but
say, listen,
I am dust.
I'll be looking
do
down.
As you wish.
I'll be looking down in judgment, and it will be harsh judgment.
I have a sense, no matter where I am, I'll be. I'm where I deserve to be. So I'll have my own El Guapos.
You got your own problems.
So you can carry on here. You maybe you should be looking up or looking down and help.
You think God's going to give me time to worry about what you're doing?
I got stuff I got to deal with. There's penance and whatnot.
I've got one of those sticks with 2 buckets filled with flaming charcoal.
Whatever going on here is the least of my concerns, no matter what the occurrence. So carry on.
Now, here's the one thing, Vic. This is the thing that would really upset you.
Huh.
After your wife said no to this deal, she said no.
Yeah,
I will only be with men.
Yeah,
and then you die, and you could have had 15 years,
mind
you, but she said no, and then she gets with a woman. How mad would you be?
I don't know. I guess that would be
a deal breaker.
I'd be mildly turned on.
No, not me.
Yeah.
You wouldn't, looking down, you wouldn't go, see?
Now, do you believe that when you get to heaven and then when your wife dies, you guys will still be married in heaven? Or do you think like you'll be allowed to date
Well,
once you get to
now
heaven?
we're getting into the deepest
Yeah.
parts of our religious beliefs.
Well, that's what I want to know about.
Well, maybe that's
Is that personal?
Well,
Will you date in heaven before your wife gets there?
I think when you're in heaven, you're not going to remember
Again,
anything
you're
about this
elsewise
life.
occupied.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
depending on your religion. There's others that believe that it's an eternal thing.
Well,
Right.
that's what they do. But then if your wife remarries, does she have now two eternal things? Do you guys all live together?
That's a book of the Bible that didn't get published.
Yeah,
these
they
are the
redacted that one.
questions. These are the questions
That's not
that
in
people want to know.
My most recent Quran, I haven't seen that.
People want to know the answers.
Buddha hasn't. Well, Buddha tells us we're just coming back.
I'll be
on
back.
a circle.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll be back. I'll be watching you as the cricket on the wall.
I don't want to be a baby again.
You ain't gonna be a baby.
Back to pooping my pants.
According to that belief, you're going up or down. You're either evolving or devolving. You ain't coming back as a baby.
Oh no,
you don't get to do that again.
So like evolve or devolve as a human or as a species?
As a being.
So I could be like a cat.
You could be.
You could. Yeah.
You could come back as a cricket, and that could be evolving depending on who you are or what you've been, according to
and then
some beliefs.
If you live a good life as a cricket,
you move on to
up?
being a thing that eats a cricket. I don't know.
Wow.
But it's not. Don't put it as a cricket. Put it as a life force, an entity. It's not the shell.
So you're saying I worked my way up to human?
You've evidently, by some forms of belief, you have evolved to this, and you're not even close to completion. That you're just on a journey.
Now this is
the way I think a lot of us
is just
should look
my
at
first crack at humanism. Like I've been.
This isn't humanism that I'm talking about.
Oh, I was just saying this
humanism is you're your own God.
No, well, I just meant as me trying to be a human. Like this is the first time I've worked my way up to this level.
Well, there's others that say,
I remember anyway.
There's others that say that you have to you start here and you evolve through the humanness, and then you achieve a plane beyond this earth. And then there's others that say that the terrestrial idea never changes, that you are indeed in your own heaven already. And as you evolve, you're evolving to a different plane in this heaven. We can go that route. Or you could be the humanist and just decide you're your own God in control of your own universe and do as you will, that's pretty good belief if you like that.
There's so many questions that will not be answered.
It's so early to get into it. It's 6:15 in the morning.
Vic, do us a favor. When you die, call in.
Got it.
And let us know what's going on.
Oh, I will.
Let us know
definitely call.
If you're a cricket, if you're in heaven, if there's a lot of hot tias up there in heaven.
Oh, there are.
How are the tacos?
The best. Grease run down your.
I'll give you the carne guisada report from up there.
Oh, I bet.
But strangely, no birria tacos in heaven.
Really?
It's weird.
Do you think here it's like Benny's and Roberto's tacos? Do you think up there they're all named after prophets? Like it's where's the best quesada? Oh, it's at Elijah's Tacos.
Oh yeah. At Peter's. Let's go to Peter's.
Apostles. This is the best taco in town.
No, they only do seafood there.
The Anthony says you have no idea how many people I have buried in their Cowboys jersey.
Oh man,
he's a grave digger. Well,
there you go.
I was
gonna say when you said that, I was gonna laugh out loud, but I was like, I've been to 2 funerals in the last year where there was cowboy paraphernalia in or on the decedent.
Was it the coffin or just clothes?
Oh, I've seen cowboy coffin. Not necessarily trademarked by the Cowboys, but I have seen coffins festooned. Of course.
Let me see here.
Now, this is interesting. Go back to that the Brigade Bar real quick, because Brian says, "Morning, fellas. By any chance, who is the one that left spit on that chair yesterday? Tobacco spit.
What the hell are you talking about?
Did you leave your spit cup laying around here?
I don't have a spit cup.
You've been swallowing?
Oh, I don't know what they're talking about.
Did you have a spit cup yesterday?
No.
A bottle?
No, never.
Wasn't me.
That's where does your spit go? Are you a swallower?
Not.
Oh,
that's hardcore, man.
No, there's a trash can over in the corner.
Right, and you just spit like during breaks.
Yeah,
that's hardcore too, man.
I'm a Texan, baby.
Like Minix he can barely hold it for like 10 seconds.
You learn if you're up on a horse, you got to learn to hold it, or it's going to end up on you.
Well, did you accidentally drool some on a chair yesterday or something?
Oh,
what are they talking about?
What the hell they're talking about?
It was so. Did Minix complain? I don't know, but
I don't know. We'll
nobody.
find out.
I don't think I've never seen Rob.
The cup culprit is probably pleasure.
Ah.
But I don't know
yeah.
that. I just know that if you're going to ask me who would have left a dip cup, a spit cup,
Or just
It
spit
would
on
have
the
been-
chair.
well, I spit on the chair. I need to have some.
Joe went off the first 20 minutes about if you make a mess, clean it. Y'all are
Oh.
adults.
Oh, I wonder what I did.
So you do think it was you?
If I sit in the same place,
And you generally are like,
I tend to leave.
You're a
mess,
little messier
but
than I
wouldn't have
am.
left a spit cup. That's not me.
I'm pretty sure you left a spit cup laying around the first day I met you.
No,
Oh no, that was no.
it wouldn't have been me.
It's not me.
You left your sweet tea bottle. That's right.
Probably left a half drunk bottle
Yeah.
of tea.
Okay. Yeah, well, I don't think it was Rob. I don't think he left spit. I don't think he left a spittoon.
I know it wasn't me.
I think it was either Pledger or Minix. They're the spitters.
No, but I don't know what the complaint was, so it's hard for me to address. But if it's about a mess, I would assume it was me, and I will take whatever that was. But anything else?
Well, he says Minix and Joe were investigating dip debris.
Oh, I bet there's probably stuff on the floor.
Okay.
Which, yeah, I'll
Or on the chair. Could it possibly have been on the chair?
doubt it.
Well, listen. I'm gonna tell you guys the truth right now. I got Rob's back, and I'll lie for Rob. I will. I'll say
I'll take responsibility for whatever I've done. I'm fully aware that I have a tendency to leave messes in my wake.
Anthony says they smelled it. It was spit, tobacco spit. It was dried up, and it looked like poop on your chair. I don't think that was Rob. Rob doesn't. I'm telling you,
Right?
Rob.
We don't even sit in the same chair.
Yeah, it couldn't have been Rob. That's
We
Rob.
sit in different chairs.
Rob sits in like a weird chair that doesn't even belong in this studio.
Yeah.
I'm like I said, I'll lie for Rob. I don't think I have to in this case. That was somebody else. Somebody else did that.
Because he sits in one of the stools.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say it was Pledger. I think it was Pledger. Who made Pledger clean it up because he's privileged on air talent? Yeah. Ryan Eagle's not touching somebody
what
else's
went on
spit.
in here yesterday?
I don't know. That's weird.
Right?
You like how I say that's weird when I just asked if your wife would be a lesbian after you died? Like,
This is
but that's weird what they're talking about. That's weird. All right, let's hit a break. We got a lot to get to today. Team USA gets a win. We'll talk about it next. Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio Sports Star.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-694-1010. That's 1-800-694-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. 1-800-694-1010. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Don't let pain keep you from doing the things you love. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett from Arasti. At Arasti, we fix pain fast. Whether you've been living with chronic and nagging pain for years, or if you've recently experienced an injury, our goal is to get you out of pain as quickly as possible. Arasti is completely natural and non-invasive. Plus, Arasti accepts most insurance plans. There's a location near you. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Concerned about age-related macular degeneration, or AMD? If you're over 50, then you should be. AMD impacts as many as 1 in 10 Americans over 50, severely impacting your vision and robbing you of your ability to drive, read, and enjoy the vibrant beauty of life. Now, protecting your eyes is easier thanks to New Nordic's Blueberry Eye Supplements. Specifically formulated to improve eye health, New Nordic's Blueberry Eye Supplements not only protect your eyes, but help improve night vision, as well as helping to relieve eye fatigue caused by digital devices. Only New Nordic uses wild Swedish blueberries because of their superior concentration of color pigments. which are vital to eye function and health. New Nordic's blueberry eye supplements are Scandinavia's #1 selling natural eye formula. But now you can find them at Amazon.com or NewNordicUSA.com. Enjoy healthy vision with New Nordic's blueberry eye supplements. Available now at Amazon.com or NewNordicUSA.com.
It's Jason and Joe from the Blitz. Join us at Circa Las Vegas in August for the Circa Sports Ultimate Contest Weekend.
The Blitz will be live at Circa August 22nd and 23rd, and then we're staying for the weekend. Come to Vegas with us for the Ultimate Contest Weekend.
Circa Survivor and Circa Million are back. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere.
So join the Blitz at Circa Las Vegas. More details and discounted rooms available online at sasportstar.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime!
Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Good morning to you out there, boys and girls, ladies and gents, guys and gals.
Watch your pronouns.
That's right. I watched the Joe Rogan special last night.
Oh, is it good? I know you appreciate him. I appreciate his skill. I've never found him funny.
I think he's a very talented guy, and
right, I do too.
I think he is. I like comedians that make you think. Chappelle is my favorite comedian by far.
Oh, yeah, but
current
he's on another level.
He is. He really is.
But Rogan is more of a host, a reflection of the talent in front of him, which is a skill. I appreciate what he does, but I've never found him particularly funny.
I was planning on going to this show when he was in San Antonio, but we wouldn't make it because we were getting in from California. My brother and I were going to go.
Oh, that was just last week.
I
didn't even.
They were recording a live Netflix special at that show.
You know, that's
so his Netflix specials on San Antonio. I guess that theater it plays well on TV.
It does. It plays well, and I think ready access to the phone bags and all that other kind of stuff.
Yeah, but yeah, I was like, I could have been at that show. But yeah, it was okay. Yeah. It wasn't like it wasn't mind blowing or anything.
Not Sebastian Maniscalco, of which we have tickets at 8:00 if you really want to go.
Yeah, we'll give away tickets to that at 8:00. We'll also give away some tickets to the Hunters Extravaganza.
It's if you're a hunter, it's a toy store.
Well, not if you're a hunter. You have to be like a serious hunter. Like,
no, you can become
a regular hunter's not going to appreciate the extravaganza.
I appreciate the all hat, no cattle hunter.
Okay,
I like those dudes that show up
like
with
the
all
best
the toys.
gun.
Oh yeah, show up with all the toys,
range finders, and can't shoot.
So you get to kind of curate the stuff. You have to have one all hat, no cattle hunter on every lease. So they'll show up with the laser rangefinder, and they'll be the first one to have all the newest, coolest stuff. And some of it works, some of it doesn't. But you didn't have to buy it. You just see how it works, then you can go get it.
My
brothers say all hat no, but my brother's a good hunter. But my brother is an early adopter. My brother, if it's out there and it looks cool, my brother gets it.
Because here's my problem: if I went hunting today, I don't have anything camouflage that I could wear.
See, I'm not a big camo guy either. Some guys, they're putting on deer. If I'm not that big a hunter, but I do like, I have like a gentleman's camo, but I don't have like the hardcore.
You don't have the paint on your face.
My dad has taken more deer in his life than anybody, and he has like a BDU jacket and brown leather gloves and a cowboy hat. I mean, Part of it's the game. But if you're in a blind and you get there early enough, why are you camoed? What exactly are you camoing from?
Also, if I take a deer down in a red Nike hoodie, that's going to be boss in the picture.
Well, there's that. You don't want to look like a complete, like they tied the deer to a tree. But there is the.
But even if whoever, maybe you look like that, but if you actually take the deer wearing some tennis shoes.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of this stuff is just about the act of being a hunter, the gentleman hunter. Some of the stuff helps. Some of it's just cool to have. And most of hunting is the cool stuff to have in your own little fort. That's what hunting is. We all have our fort. It's our fort is now, it's not in the backyard anymore. It's 50 miles out in, it's either in Webb County or that's where my fort is. That's where my guns are. That's where my friends, my little gang, we all meet on the weekends and we talk about it. We play with our guns. It's our fort.
For me, hunting's all about eating jerky.
It's about, for you, it's the sustenance.
That's what I care about. I don't care. I don't like the hunting itself doesn't do anything for me.
There's one thing. Just like you have not lived until you have had we call them deer sticks from primo processing. Forget the jerky.
Okay.
You got to go to the deer stick.
I don't like I hate the way a deer smells when you bust them open, but boy, do I love me some deer meat. So
you can have all of mine.
It's a deal.
I'm not a fan, unfortunately. I'm all about donating it.
And you like the hunt. We're a good team.
Yeah,
we're a good team, Rom.
We got to call a doe every now and again. You can have it.
All right. I think the U.S. called the doe yesterday. That doe was Brazil. It said, "Oh,
in the headlights, man."
Yeah. This was assault.
That's the way that Team USA should look, where Brazil was tired and then the bench came in and they went, holy crap, that's Devin Booker. He just came off the bench. And Durant became the all-time leading USA basketball scorer.
I thought he was already that.
Well, he had to pass Lisa Leslie, I think.
Oh my God.
Well, if the women can pat Pete Maravich, then
I know we got to stop. Like, let's keep our records separate.
So now he's the all-time dude, and he's going to keep patting it. And watching the French dispatch the Canadians is kind of what we thought would happen. It's going to be, it's not going to be easy, but it's not going to be hard either.
Yeah, this was so the U.S., Germany, France, and Serbia. 3 of those 4 teams are going to get medals. One of them is going to be the loser in musical chairs. U.S. takes on Serbia next, Germany and France in the other semifinal.
Well, that Germany-France game is going to be fun.
We were on the air yesterday. So early in the early game, we didn't get to see much of it. I won money on it, which was nice. Mm-hmm. Greece had a 12-point lead on Germany and got blown out.
Yep.
Australia had a 24-point lead on Serbia, and Serbia pulls off the biggest comeback in Olympic basketball history.
I think we need to reframe it. Patty Mills had a big lead over the Serbians.
Yes, and Nikola Jokic came back, and France wins in an upset, and it was like, man, this is a weird day. Weird things are happening, and luckily, America said, Bubba, no weird stuff happening here. We're just going to come in and smack that ass, and that's what they did.
Wemby yesterday, what do you have, like 7 or 8 points? But watching him play defense, he terrifies the other team. Wherever he goes, the ball goes the other direction. Watching him play defense for the French is pretty funny because they make him cover a lot of ground, and wherever he goes, the ball they're skip passing well past him.
I always say things like this about boxing or MMA. Like, it's hard to have a sparring partner to get you ready to fight Tyson Fury.
Right. You just have no.
Like, there's nobody like him. There's no. You're not going to find guys who are like 6'9" and really skilled boxers that are just that level of giant. Like, how do you prepare yourself to score? Like, you can hold up all the broomsticks you want.
It's the broom. That's the only way. You got to have a guy with brooms taped to his arms, running from side to side, because watching the Canadian team and Olynyk specifically trying to deal with both Gobert and Wemby on defense, it's a crazy thing to watch.
Well, we'll talk more of Team USA in the 7 o'clock hour. We'll break down the game a little bit. We'll talk about Joel Embiid, who played a big role once again. It's a roller coaster. It's a yo-yo of who gets the minutes, who doesn't, because Jason Tatum was kind of a no-show again yesterday. Weird thing the way they're doing this, but to me, it's like at least nobody should be crying. Like
Everybody's
getting a chance.
Double.
Yeah. But we'll talk about that and more of the Olympics. The missions are getting a new stadium at long last. We'll talk about that a little bit. We'll hear more from Mike McCarthy. We got a lot to do today. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Hey, dude, you didn't tell me that you wrecked it, and it looks wrecked. How much was the insurance check? $8,000. Yeah, did y'all spend it on fixing it, or did you put it in your pocket? Well, my cousin, just stop there. Just stop there. All I needed to know is $8,000 insurance and a cousin.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Come to Generations Federal Credit Union and drive away with a great competitive rate on your auto loan. We make auto loans simple, with no payments for up to 90 days, easy applications, and fast local decisions. Apply online or in person at Generations Federal Credit Union. Member owned, community grown. Rates and terms subject to approval and may change without notice. Interest will continue to accrue during the payment deferral period. Full terms and conditions at mygenfcu.org/auto. Federally insured by NCUA.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. J.D. Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now, during our biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Limited time. For J.D. Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Power comes in many forms. The beloved power nap, the enviable power couple, the celebrated power hitter. But around here, Kohl's Cash is power. And if you earned it recently, it's time for your power trip to Kohl's. Will you redeem your Kohl's Cash on those Adidas sneakers you've been eyeing? Will you flex at the block party with that new ice cream maker? Will you replace your kids' favorite shorts because they outgrew them again? However you redeem your Kohl's Cash before it expires, more power to you. Not valid on Sephora at Kohl's. Additional exclusions may apply.
The biggest pro football contests in Vegas are back. Circa Survivor and Circa Million are now up to a record $16 million in guaranteed prizes. 2 ways to win and no rate. Circa Survivor contestants select one team each week with no point spread. Last the longest to win it all with $10 million guaranteed. In Circa Million, make 5 picks against the spread each week for your share of $6 million guaranteed through quarterly and full season payouts. Enter in Nevada. Play from anywhere. Visit circasports.com for details.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson for Tri-County Meat Market, your locally owned full-service meat market. Tri-County has 2 great locations, Keebner Road and Ralph Fair, stocked full of everything you need to up your grilling game. You're looking for the perfect cut of beef, they've got it, and if they don't have it, they'll cut it for you. Roast chicken, prepare foods, they've got it. The 5 for $25 is always in play. If you're a first responder, 10% off the best meat you're going to find. Tri-County Meat Market. Head over to either location, put some good meat on the grill, and thank me later.
This is Joe Reinagle. You're listening to the home of the Aggies, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. AJ and Rob on a what?
Hump day.
What?
Hump day.
Taking things over around here. Welcome to Thunderdome. I steal every bit. I didn't even know I was stealing that bit, but I'll steal it. I don't care. Screw that. It was a good day for Team USA yesterday. We are now in the lead, baby.
Firmly.
Yeah, there ain't no more of this maybe we'll tie up with China or whatever. We are taking a we run Patty. That's what I like to say. The USA now our lead in medal count has not been close. The current medal count is 86 US, 60 China, 48 France. So we're dominating that. But gold medal count, yesterday we were tied after a good day. After another good day, all by our lonesomes. 24 gold medals. China has 22. Australia's moved up to 14 gold medals. And some of where we're coming through is wrestling. They're doing wrestling now, and the U.S. is good at wrestling, and China's not as good at us as wrestling. So I'm telling you, there's a gal, and where's that guy who says I hate women? I'm about to show you, man. I'm about to show you. Amit Allure, who is a 20-year-old. I forget what the kilograms is, but she wrestles at 150-ish. Little lady. And she might be our most dominant female athlete this year. And that's when you consider what Katie Ledecky's done. It's like, yeah, okay, that's pretty damn good. She won the gold medal, and it's 68 kilograms. She is the youngest Olympic wrestling gold medalist in U.S. history. She won her 4 matches by a combined score of 31-2. She was out there just ragdolling gals. I'm all for. I want this chick to be a fighter. I want her to, and she dates a Brazilian jiu-jitsu world champion. I want them to maybe make a baby that
will one day
rule the sport of MMA. But she was the 3rd American woman to win gold in history. I say history. Women started wrestling at the Olympics in 2004. So there's a history, not a long history, but she's the 3rd American woman to do it. And that was one of my favorite things to see at the Olympics. This is already a 2-time world champion. She won her first world championship at 18 years old.
Where's she from?
She's from Northern California. And she says she's looking forward to representing her country again 4 years from now in her home state.
Well, she can be a pro and do that now, right? She could go MMA and then come back and wrestle if she wanted to.
I would think so.
I mean, everybody else can. Why couldn't she?
But if that's the thing, if you do what it takes to focus to be an MMA fighter, it won't be long before you're not the best wrestler in the world.
True that.
Like Bo Nickel, is maybe the greatest wrestler that's ever done MMA. And I don't know if Bo Nickel would medal at the Olympics right now because he's been doing MMA for the last 3 years. And it's just when it's your whole life, just these specialized things, that's all you do every day. I mean, it's a different beast, but no, I was happy to see. That was my favorite Olympic moment from yesterday. I love watching Olympic wrestling.
Well, let's see what do we get today? We have any wrestling on we do. We have Greco-Roman 77 kilogram medal matches starting today, and 97. Women's freestyle will be today at 150. We got 24 medals on the line today. Men's and women's dinghy will be on the line. And then we'll have
remember men's and women's dinghy got rained out yesterday.
Well, mixed dinghy will go off today too. If
mixed dinghy,
there's mixed dinghy going on, and there's also mixed multi-hole, and that you can tell the mixed multi-hole from the mixed dinghy by whether the pineapple is upside down or not on the sail.
Does the dinghy does it ever crash into the multi-hole?
Well, you never. If it does, then weird things start going on. That's after dark. We got skateboarding today. Men's Park will go off at 4:30 today. I'm sorry, 11:30
There's also beach volleyball, which our gals lost yesterday.
Yeah, but there's still reason to watch.
Yeah.
There's still plenty
yeah.
of reason to enjoy women's volleyball for all of its glory.
I thought it looked like our girls were going to make a comeback. Like it looked like first they looked like they were going to get blown out by these Swiss gals. And then we made a furious comeback and then lost anyway.
Yeah, well.
I hate when that happens, when you make the furious comeback and it comes up short. But there is still a USA team. If I'm not, no, maybe both of the teams are out. I think both our teams are gone now, which sucks.
Sadly.
There's some handball on today.
I'm growing in my fandom of handball.
It's a good game. It's
a pastime. I wouldn't call it a sport yet, but it's an interesting pastime.
And I think it just started, or maybe it started a little bit ago. The speed climbing, which we watch. The women's speed climbing starts today.
I swear that line is pulling them up.
It's not.
It is, man.
They're
not. Those guys look like Spider-Man yesterday. You can't climb like that.
Apparently this kid is like he's a freak. The American kid who won, I forgot his name, but he was talking about, he told Noah Lyles he's the fastest man on earth. He's like, he might be the fastest man horizontally.
He's one of the he's got a cape in his backpack. He's there to solve crimes and right wrongs.
And we've got first of all, there is some diving today, which I like watching the diving, particularly the bouncy board diving. The platform diving is less fun for me, but
I mean the ones that are like 40 feet up in the air, that's less fun?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I mean, it's scary. It's crazy that they're able to do it.
What about the synchro? Have you seen that? That's an interesting.
I don't like that.
That's an interesting idea.
I don't like
on the
team diving.
Idea.
I don't like team diving
You're
at all.
Not good enough to do it alone, but we think we can find someone that does it just like you.
Yes, I don't like that. There's some weightlifting going on today.
I'm down with the I like the big fat guy weightlifting.
Oh,
the big
yeah.
killer. Remember this guy from Russia named Vasily Alexia that they would, this is back when I was a kid, would eat like a dozen raw eggs. Like they showed him like before the match, like the lifting. Like
that's what every man
knock
does.
Down some eggs.
That's what every man does. There's also some canoeing today. Canoeing.
Is that dinghy or not? That's not part of the dinghy.
No.
Oh, okay.
No. It's that's what you like. It's like the kayaking.
Oh, is it like the battle rollerball?
Yeah.
I like that.
And then there's canoe and kayak heats in the sprint field. So I think this is just a straight ahead, like a canoe race. And then there's some ping pong today. The men's semifinals are today.
Are they calling it ping pong or table tennis?
Table tennis today.
A mini pickleball, as we call it around the Thompson house.
Well, that's the good word for it. There's a little bit of boxing later on today. Some of the finals.
When is the bicycling in the velodrome? Are we there yet? That's one of my favorite events.
We're not there yet.
Damn it.
We're not there yet. But most importantly today, there's ladies basketball. USA going to take the court. And that, what do you think we're more, if I said, okay, we're guaranteed a medal, do you think the U.S. men or women is more guaranteed to win gold?
Women.
I think so too.
Without hesitation. They haven't lost in
they don't lose
30 years.
It was like Katie Ledecky, women's basketball. That's the ones that we knew we were going to win. Everything else, well, we'll see. But
yesterday on the track, Team USA dominated.
Yeah, we did pretty good, man.
Not even if they were wearing red, white, and blue, they were standing on the medal plant.
You know what pisses me off? Oh, and there's an American skateboarder just had a really good run as well. I'll tell you what pisses me off is when I'm watching the track and I'll be cheering for someone because they're wearing our colors
and they're not us.
And then it turns out it's France.
Yeah, the French are
I feel so betrayed. I'm like, what? Make them wear a different uniform. I don't like that. They should have to wear a costume that's like, I don't know, frillier or something.
They did have our colors first.
Yeah, but I feel like, I don't know.
I agree. It looks weird, but Nike, I think, who outfitted them both, should have done a better job of separating. It should be obvious.
Maybe France can remember a time when we came and saved them from the Nazis.
The Nazis,
and
then they'll go, you wouldn't exist but for us.
And then we can tell them, hey, remember when we saved your ass? How about your new colors are purple, blue, and orange?
They would go, you wouldn't even be a country but for us. Twice.
What?
Twice.
We don't need them. We don't need. There was a French-American War. Who won?
It was the French and Indian.
Well, all right. Same thing. Pretty much. All right. We got to hit a break. When we come back, we'll wrap up hour number 1. And we'll get you ready for it. We're going to talk, like I said, we're in the 7 o'clock hour. We got a lot of Team USA to discuss. We're going to break down the game. But first, Rob is going to tell you about his good friend.
Dr. Jacob Torres has been a good friend of mine for the last 8 years or so. Good Spurs fan. He has grown his practice over the last 8 years, working with people just like me and you, working with people who had never really thought they could lose weight despite best efforts. A lot of us try hard to lose weight, and we stick ourselves on some kind of tough regimen that despite all the deprivation, we still don't lose the weight that we wanted to lose. Or if we did, it immediately comes back once we stop starving ourselves. That's where Dr. Torres has been so successful, because not only does he understand that all of us face our own issues in losing weight, he addresses them, and it goes on in the moment you walk in the door. You'll get a full examination and find out your general health and find out why the weight you're holding on to will not leave. And then a program put together to address that, and then the mental side as well. And the bottom line of this is he will change your life and your attitude about food. And in so doing, you're going to live a healthier and happier life. Let me tell you, 8 years in, how many people do you know that have been going to the same weight loss doctor or program for more than 6 months or so? I'm still with the doctor because this is a change in life. And by the way, Dr. Torres and his entire IFF staff, it's a full medical facility. They are general practitioners as well. So go see Dr. Torres, but first you can call him 210-468-1891. Let him explain to you why he's been so successful and why it would be so applicable to you. Go to the website, iffhealth.com. Do your due diligence. Do your study. Take the functional health test. I promise you, it'll open your eyes. If you've decided to change your life, if it's time to lose the weight, you owe it to yourself to call Dr. Torres. He has worked so well with me. I cannot be more proud to offer him to you. Call him today. Change your life. Thank me later.
94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Next up for our 5th grade class recital, we have Samantha.
10 times better performance can make a big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your engine 10 times better high-stress performance. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance. Now through December 28th, Castrol Edge and Edge High Mileage Motor Oil are on rollback at Walmart.
Claim based on sequence 9 tests under high-load conditions versus API SP test limits.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
What other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, it sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Remember you were talking about who eats what eats a cricket.
Uh-huh.
They're trying something in Minnesota. I think this might be a failed experiment at this point. But they were trying a thing out. They were trying to train owls at the zoo to do a bird show.
Okay.
And they were training them in an open air area,
like to fly off and get something and then fly back to the handler. Gotcha.
Yeah. So this owl, a Eurasian owl, I don't know if they're rare or what, but it takes off away from the handler and doesn't come back. Well, the owl flew into an outdoor tiger enclosure.
Oh, no.
Let's just say that owl's not going to be doing any tricks.
That's an ex-owl?
It's a former owl. He'll be reincarnated now as maybe, I don't know. Maybe
was there a crowd there to witness this?
Maybe a peacock? I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Nature at its best, man. They said there was a tragic incident at the zoo, and the zoo's been working closely with the free flight bird training partners to review our policies and procedures. Animal welfare is our top priority in all facets of zoo operations.
The tigers have been down with this whole idea since the get-go.
He added that the owl that was eaten was at the beginning stages of its training.
A rookie.
Hey, Rook. It's hazing. They're like, hey, Rook, fly to that tiger pen. Whoops. Yeah.
I think they need to repeat this little show once a day.
I mean,
watch this tiger jump 15
people
feet
show
in the
up
air and eat an owl.
People will show up. It's funny because tigers at the zoo always look kind of like fat and lazy. Until it's feeding time.
Until they're not. I used to live real close to the zoo, and you could hear those tigers roar at my house a mile away.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's an interesting sound to wake up to.
I would think that'd be good for property value.
A lion roaring in the distance.
That's right. Imagine that's your wake up and you start the day.
But strangely, we didn't have an owl problem. I can tell you that.
Yeah. Because every once in a while, there they go.
Owl flying too close to the ground. It's a Willie song.
I think that is a Willie song. Owl flying too close to the tiger pen. All right. Hour number 2 coming up. We got NFL to talk today. We got baseball to talk today. We got Team USA. You know what? Let's talk about that baseball stadium up on the other side. It is the Morning Huddle right here on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
This is the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson, KTFM Floresville.
The granddaddy of all hunting shows is back. The 2024 Hunters Extravaganza, August 16th through the 18th at the Freeman Coliseum Expo Hall. Fun for the whole family. Check out our hunting seminars, the latest in hunting equipment, last season's best bucks in our annual deer contest, and for the little hunters, games, live alligators, snakes, and more. August 16th through the 18th at the Freeman Coliseum Expo Hall. For details and tickets, go to huntersextravaganza.com.
I spray and scrub, but the soap scum in my bathtub is still there.
I spray and scrub, but the burnt sauce on my stovetop sticks around.
Sprays can leave grime behind, but Mr. Clean Ultra Foamy Magic Eraser combines the scrubbing power of an eraser with the cleaning power of Dawn to melt away tough messes on contact.
Just wet, squeeze, and erase.
Stop spraying, start erasing, and clean with more magic than ever with Ultra Foamy Magic Eraser.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. We're going abroad for the first time in years, to Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
This is an announcement to all United States vehicle owners who own a 2003 or newer vehicle with a manufacturer's warranty about to expire, or no warranty coverage at all. With a struggling economy and the cost of living on the rise, Endurance is now offering an affordable, low-cost vehicle coverage plan to the general public. As of today, you could be one of millions of drivers that now may qualify to have your vehicle protected under this coverage and have all future covered auto repairs paid directly to the repair shop for you. You pick your plan. You pick your deductible. You even pick the repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental coverage is included. Get your vehicle protected now and save your wallet from costly vehicle repairs. A toll-free number has been established for you to call for your free 5-minute quote and to see if you qualify. The number to call is 800-299-1058. 800-299-1058. Again, that's 800-299-1058. Coverage, deductibles, and claims may vary. For details, go to endurancewarranty.com.
With Progressive's Home Quote Explorer, you can check if you're paying too much for home insurance, because giving you options is the right thing to do.
Oh, you mean like when I let someone with less groceries go ahead in line? Sure, there's a part of me that thinks, if you only need 3 things, maybe go to a convenience store next time. And now they're sifting through coupons and my frozen foods are about to be not frozen.
But still, it's the right thing to do. So compare rates with Progressive's Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
We're going abroad for the first time in years, to Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
If you can't sleep because of annoying knee pain, that's a problem. You stop running because your feet always hurt. That's a problem. If your elbow, shoulder, and neck pain make it impossible for you to do your job, that is a problem. And it's time to finally do something about it. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett from Arasti. At Arasti, we fix pain fast. No medications, no injections. Arasti treatment is completely natural and non-invasive. Plus, we accept most insurance plans. There's a location near you. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating with the Banana Bonanza smoothie.
Hey, and you can keep celebrating when you create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Go bananas.
I will. Hey, make it a large.
Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel will help you start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks. Words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks, "How's your French going?" you can say,
Babbel facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue.
Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
94.1 FM. San Antonio Sports Star. San Antonio Sports Center.
Dallas Cowboys added practice talent, signing linebacker Nick Vigil and Darius Harris, along with defensive tackle Albert Huggins. Team USA routed Brazil 122-87. France beat previously unbeaten Canada 82-73. In local news, Texas West from Bernie beat Louisiana 6-3 and are heading to Williamsport for the Little League World Series. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Morning Huddle, San Antonio Sports Star. I'm AJ Hoffman. He's Rob Thompson. We're bringing you through on a hump day, on a Wednesday, baby.
I'm thinking we need to do something over here for Ryan Eagle in preparation for his. I don't think we're keeping this place clean enough for him. I'm going to have to clean this thing appropriately for his arrival.
I clean it every morning.
No, evidently what he does, he doesn't like where I'm leaving it. So we're going to sterilize this thing. By the time he gets here, I want everything wrapped in plastic by the time he gets here. He's going to have to unwrap this part of
maybe you got too much stuff over there.
I don't know what obviously I've made him mad. So I'm going to make sure that this area will be sterile. He's going to have to tear through some plastic.
Your area is cluttered.
But obviously yesterday he went off on something that I did. But I've decided, all right.
You hawk to it and you spit on that thing.
You want it clean. You'll get it clean. Be careful what you ask for.
Well, listen, man.
I'll wrap this thing in like cellophane.
That's a good idea. And that way he'll never bitch about it again.
So then he has to like cut through it with a machete.
Do it with do it on the door, the whole thing.
Make it
where it's impossible for him to get in here and work. Well, friends, the San Antonio Missions seem to have a good thing going, don't they? Looks like they've got a stadium that's going to be built. And we talked about this a while back, but now it appears that all the paperwork's filed. There's letters that have been submitted, and the mayor and the county judge and all these guys they've been working with the missions. It's all out in the open now, and it looks like it is authorized, and we're talking about a new stadium, part of the San Pedro Creek Park District project. 4,500 seats, 8,000 people, which is significantly smaller than the current Mission Stadium.
1,000 seats or so, yeah, that matters.
The Mission's current ballpark seats 9,200 people with fixed seating and a grass section in left field. So, it's 1,000 people. The county and city plan to use funds from a bond distribution to build the stadium. The remaining debt's going to be paid through property tax increments within a reinvestment plan for Houston Street generated by the project. The missions will contribute their revenue toward the remaining debt through lease payments, ticket fees, and other forms of equity. It will also be used for tournaments, festivals, and special events, in addition to 70 home missions dates. They're also going to build a parking garage, which is, it's
always nice to be able to park.
I'm never going to complain about that. When we talked about this before, is this kind of what you were expecting? Is this where you were expecting? This
little region, for those of you unaware, it's right over by where Fox Tech is or was. Just a little bit to the, I would say, what do you go north there, 35, right downtown on the edge that's closer to the Pearl, right there on San Pedro Creek, that recently improved area. That little area has been talked about for quite some time. It was available. Bob Cohen, who's been part of our sports scene, former radio dude, he's part of the ownership with the Missions now, along with those Spurs. That was an area that they had pinpointed from the get-go, and really we were waiting on the city and county to kind of agree. The mayor, Mayor Nuremberg was a little reticent at first, but is now all in. Peter Sakai, our county judge, all in. The letter has been written. This is a done deal. We're going to have a new stadium downtown in 2028. It looks like, and that there's very little in its way. The moment that the Spurs jumped in, and Graham Weston and Bob Cohen, is certainly huge to have those guys involved, some of the money in town.
Yeah.
But this is the beginning of what's going to completely reshape our downtown over the next decade, as this on one side of where San Pedro Creek and the Pearl is on that part of downtown, and then on the other edge, closer to the Dome, on that other corner, kind of you draw a straight kind of cross line through our downtown to where the Frost will be built there, that Confluence Park, the Institute of Texas and Cultures. We're talking about reshaping what the downtown environment looks like, and we're creating this corridor through and around La Vite on one side, the Alamo on the other, the river going through, and this corridor both above ground level and then San Pedro Creek and toward the Confluence. We're talking about a completely redesign of our downtown as the Alamo is being redone. It's an exciting time to be a San Antonian. What we look like now will be completely different in about 15 years.
My guess is that this also means that the missions are going to be back to being a AAA team.
I don't think that's a necessary thing. I don't think that the A's matter. I don't think double, triple, I don't think it really matters. I think that there's as far as the profitability and what the stadium would mean, I don't
disagree.
Well, I'll tell you, we had AAA here in San Antonio for a year, and one of the reasons they were gone is the stadium. They didn't have the kind of stadium and all of that. But I don't think, as far as ticket sales in this city, it won't matter.
I think
single, double.
I think people want to see a higher quality of baseball.
That we get, San Antonio gets those rehab starts, whether it's triple or double A, they come through here. I really do think at the end of the day that the ticket buyer, double or triple A, it's really not the hinge point. I think the stadium could be built and be entirely equally as successful running a double A franchise as it would be a triple A.
Maybe so. And there are double A franchises that are,
make lots of money.
The Hooks do a damn good job. But from my understanding, part of what's going to end up happening with the A's when the A's move to Vegas, I think the minor league team is going to then be in Sacramento, because you remember they're taking over Sacramento's stadium for a while.
That's that AAA franchise that's going to be displaced, right?
The River Cats or whatever it is. I think they're going to take over. Like the A's are going to make them their AAA, and the Giants, it's currently their AAA. So the Giants are going to be in the market for a new AAA affiliate, and
it would be ideal. Again, I think we would all love to see the highest level of baseball available.
Dude, when you build a nice stadium, you want it.
I tell you, if you didn't know, honestly, and you were just a fan of the team, the separation between the double and the AAA dudes ain't that much. And then sometimes the AA is even better, because AAA a lot of times is the dudes that have reached the end of the line, and they're never going to be anything better than a AAA ball player. Yeah. Well, the AA guys are on their way up.
Yeah, I do think there's something, though, like with AAA, you'll often get guys who have been in the majors before.
Yeah.
Like if you've made it to the majors, the chances that you're going back to AA are so slim. And that's like a selling point for AAA baseball, is like, oh, I remember so-and-so, he played for the big club for a couple years, and he's our best player now. And I don't know. I think that's something cool, especially for kids who could say, oh, well, this guy was a big leaguer.
I'll tell you, we have had AA here for 100 years, and it really has never been an issue. And everybody, we were part of the missions of the Dodgers farm league for as long as I remember growing up, and every major Dodger did come through here. The Sachs brothers and Fernando pitched here, and we could just continue the line of Dodgers that have come through. And the same with the Padres. And for that brief minute, it matters to the extent it helps in advertising. I do think it matters when you're talking about those guys, but this is San Antonio. And again, the size of the stadium, I don't think is really talking about a 4,000 seat stadium. And think about what Austin built for the Expressway back when. Very different stadium, very different place, very different size. I don't think that was the predicate for what caused for what we're building. The A's didn't matter. It's more about the baseball.
Okay. And when you say the A's, you don't mean like the Oakland A's. You mean the
size,
AAA,
double,
AA,
triple,
whatever.
because the brief experiment we had with AAA, we just didn't have the wherewithal, the money, the field just never fit. And it was a 1-year catastrophe combined with COVID. And at the same time, the complete restructuring of how minor league baseball works with pro baseball, as they had to start actually paying some of these guys.
The other thing I believe this will do is because like you said, they were a Dodgers affiliate for a long time. And then since then, they've kind of been shuffled around. I think they were Mariners for a while.
For a minute.
And then Brewers and Padres.
And we were Brewers early on in my long-term base. We were the San Antonio Brewers for a minute there.
Oh, okay. Like
way
back in the 70s.
Yeah.
Okay. But I think when you have a stadium like this, teams tend to they want to lock in with you for the long haul. Like they feel like, okay, this is a good stable organization. They want to lock in, and it's a good thing.
There's some things in play too. And as we do, you talk about the long haul, and we are in an ideal location for both the Rangers and the Stros. And I know that they've swapped franchises with as far as AAA up there in Austin, and gone from Astros to Rangers. And I know the Hooks have been there. And I do think that San Antonio wants to play a role in where the missions and where the Astros and Rangers play. I know that there was an agreement there for a moment here in San Antonio where we hosted a big league weekend at the Alamo Dome. I'd like to think we could rekindle that as we renew baseball in San Antonio. So this is opening the doors to something that I don't think this is going to preclude San Antonio from ever getting a Major League Baseball team, but once we build this stadium, we're kind of committed to minor league baseball for the foreseeable future. And when I say foreseeable, I'm talking 30 years.
Yeah.
I mean, this is it for baseball.
And listen, baseball ain't expanding anytime soon.
Not here anyway.
This is I don't think San Antonio in my lifetime, San Antonio won't have a Major League Baseball
what I
team.
want to do is put to bed any kind of thought as the missions thing feels like a done deal. It's going to happen. We all agree it needs to happen. The real fight is going to be with the new basketball arena when we're talking dollar values are going to triple. There's going to be a contingent of people that are going to say, well, maybe we should hold out for baseball. And we're not going to build a baseball stadium anytime soon, especially in San Antonio's region. If it ever happens, it'll be up in nearer to Austin because that's the growing market. So don't let that preclude you from spending your entertainment or your athletic tax, whatever that might be, or holding it back, hoping baseball's coming, because it ain't. This is what's going to be San Antonio for the foreseeable future, a double or AAA franchise in a cool stadium downtown that is as tourist friendly as it is home friendly.
I guess I need to make time to go to a missions game so I can at least say I was there. The old stadium, the old ballpark,
the dusty old Nelson Wolf.
They do dollar dog night or something.
Oh, we do $2 nights. We sponsor it here, San Antonio Sports. Sorry. So on Tuesdays, we're right there, baby.
All right. I don't even like hot dogs, but $2 is hard
to
pass.
Tacos, you can get sausage wraps, beer.
Oh,
Yeah, baby.
all right.
We're doing it right.
$2 beer?
Yeah, baby. Only the best for our sports star listeners.
Yesterday was Tuesday, damn it.
But they're in Springfield. They got hammered last night, 11-0.
Oh. Well, and that's all the more reason to go drink beer.
Yeah, they're up in Missouri, so let's go hang out at the Wolf.
Yeah, I'm down. You want to do that on a Tuesday night?
I've always enjoyed a good missions game.
Beer's on me.
Can we go on the full price $4?
No,
damn it.
Oh, Vic. Yeah, you too. Beer's on me for you, Vic.
Oh, then there you go.
Yeah.
I won't have any.
However many beers you drink, I got you, baby.
I just want a Diet Coke.
Diet Coke?
But think
is
of
that,
the
is that
possibility.
is that going to be $2 to Diet Coke?
That's probably $5.
This is something that Jason Minix is always bringing up, and we're talking at the beer prices. The concert venue. We'll have an outdoor open-air concert venue right adjacent to the San Pedro Creek in the Pearl.
That'll be pretty cool, man.
Again, we're on the precipice. I know back about 10, 15, well, it's been longer than that. There was the decade of downtown under a previous mayor. And some of the infrastructure that we had invested in, we're still seeing the delayed, although ongoing, refurb of La Vita and all that. It's hard to see the ripple effect of when you decide to do something. By the time it's all done, you're already focused on the next thing. we are rebuilding and revamping our city. And if the Frost thing happens on that side and all the economic development that goes on that part of downtown, and you combine that with the already flourishing Pearl area, and then we build this new stadium, the city of San Antonio, will have taken a remarkable step forward. And let's give some credit to Mayor Nuremberg, who was a holdout on this, finally signing off. This is a big deal for our city, and it's not going to get nearly the press and coverage, and rightfully so, I think, as far as the Frost Bank Center. But it is equally as important as a growth for our city. Big deal.
Well, I don't know if it's equally as important.
It is, as far as the economic driver, because not everybody can jump in on that part of the growth. I mean, when we're talking about what's going to be built next to the Frost Center, that's dollars coming from around the world. And then, but the same thing can happen locally with the local kind of bars and businesses on the other side of downtown. And we can all watch the tide rise, and all of our boats can go up, considering where you want to be and what part of this development you want to be a part of. But we all have to decide to let the tide rise.
Yeah. I guess I was just thinking it's more important that the Spurs are getting a new arena.
There's no question. Again, this is secondary, and that's why this feels like not so much of a fight. It feels like, okay, we all agree that the Missions have been stuck out way out there for the longest time. It's finally time to make them a city entity downtown to where everybody has equal access to it.
I like that San Antonio's doing this. To be a modern city, you need stadiums in your downtown area. I still say to this day, the biggest mistake Houston made was not. I mean, in Houston, it's tough. I get the way that they're built. It's tough to put a football stadium,
right?
But it sucks that the football stadium's so far away from downtown. Like it's a hall, and I thought that it sucked that the Spurs played so far from downtown.
I'm telling us.
And the idea that they're saying, okay, we are going to invest in revitalizing the downtown area. That's how you remain a flourishing city for the next 50 years.
And
that's
you have to spend money to make it happen.
Yeah.
And you have to decide, we are going to go ahead and invest. It doesn't look easy. I mean, we're going to have to walk a very fine line, or politicians lose their jobs, and the ongoing idea of benefactors, it goes away.
The Alamo has to stop stealing bars, because now we're going to need more bars downtown. You can't get drunk at the Alamo.
Well, not even anywhere close anymore, sadly.
Give me a break. All right. Good stuff on the stadium. Let's talk some baseball on the other side. Something big happened yesterday. We'll talk about it next. Morning Huddle 94.1. San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, how's your water? If you have to answer or even think about that question, you probably don't have a Connecticut. Connecticut water softeners designed in the United States. They're the most, there's so many different ways you can calibrate what a water softener is. Do you calibrate it as to, do I see any powder on my dishes? Do I see anything in my pipes? There's that. Then is it conserving water? Does that matter? Yes, it does matter. All those things play into why Connecticut is the best water softener for this part of the world, because it takes care of all those things that we appreciate, that good water that makes the sweet tea and light beer we enjoy so much. Well, some of that sediment gets left in our pipes, and boy, when a guy shows up with rubber boots on with a bill, you'll know what I'm talking about. Connecticut cuts that problem off at the very beginning and makes sure your pipes stay clean, because that stuff never gets through your Connecticut. And you never plug it in, and it saves you some salt. So what are you waiting on? Why don't you get one for free for 90 days and find out what I'm talking about? Don't trust me. Trust them. The number you need is easy to get to. Go to ConnecticutSA.com for all the details you need for this. But for 90 days, you can have a Connecticut in your home. No commitment and no ask until that 91st day. What do you need to know? The number, 656-PURE, 656-PURE. P-U-R-E. You dial that today. There'll be a Connecticut in your home before the end of the week, and before you know it, you'll be talking about them like I do. Call Connecticut today. Get the very best water softener you can get in this part of the world, and I know you're going to be thanking me later.
94.1. Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
whenever I want?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. JD Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now, during our biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Limited time. For JD Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
The Australian Pink Floyd Show. First class traveling set world tour 2024. August 22nd, Boeing Center at Techport. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. The Australian Pink Floyd Show.
George gets justice. No amount of money can make up for a life-changing injury. I'm George Salinas, and at George Salinas Injury Lawyers, our team of attorneys will fight to get you the maximum compensation because we prepare and we care. So if you've been injured in an accident, get George. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
El Guacamole Mexican Grill on 25020 Blanco Road is now ready to serve up the cold drinks with your favorite Mexican dish. Come celebrate the grand opening of their bar this August 15th and get a free margarita only at El Guacamole Mexican Grill, 25020 Blanco Road.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
We're watching Olympic skateboarding where we just saw 49-year-old South African Dallas Oberholzer.
My new personal hero.
And, I mean, he fell after about 5 seconds, but he got out there and did the damn thing. He's got two more chances at it. But these dudes are shredding. This is fun, man. It's cool that stuff like this is in the Olympics now. It's like stuff when I was a kid, the idea that skateboarding would ever be an Olympic sport was laughable. But now it's interesting. It's entertaining.
And they are ridiculously talented.
Yeah,
it's worth
for
watching.
sure. And it's like, well, okay. And there are people like, well, it doesn't belong in the Olympics. It's like, well, at some point, somebody said, hey, let's put gymnastics in the Olympics.
As much as tumbling involves.
Right.
I think we can have skateboarding.
So I'm for this kind of stuff.
Put it in there, man. I'm down with all of it.
You want flag football?
Sure.
I want tackle football.
Anything that goes on in the Ocho, which is tomorrow, by the way.
I want to play the Russians at flag football.
Well, like Grease steps, the Grease stairs. Have you seen the Ocho events? Like tomorrow's literally August the 8th.
Those shows on, what was that show on Nickelodeon where you get slime dumped on you? Yeah.
All of them should be an Olympic event.
We were talking baseball. We're talking the missions. And it's got me thinking, well, let's talk a little baseball. Rob, something happened yesterday.
Framber almost had
first of all, Framber, that was a one-hitter.
It was an awful hit to give up, but,
Yeah, it went a long way.
He won.
2 outs. That does kind of suck, right?
Can you give a brother a break? Did you have to swing that hard?
That's kind of suck. 2 outs in the 9th. No hitter. You're like, everybody's on the edge of their seat. They're, don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. Then Corey Seager blasts one. Well, now you see why they take Paul Skeens out in the 7th.
Sorry, boss.
Nobody wants to see that.
I got a little tired.
There was but that was only a no-hitter would have been the second rarest thing to happen yesterday because the White Sox won a baseball game.
Yes, sadly.
After losing 21 games straight, they're back, baby. They are back. Just to put things into perspective, the White Sox were only 3 teams in the last 80 years. Actually, yeah, they are one of 3 teams now in the last 80 years. They're now one of 4 teams that lost 20 straight. They're one of 3 that lost at least 21 straight. And one of them was the very nice 69 Expos. And when the Expos lost their games, the franchise they'd existed for 28 games.
Right.
Like they were brand spanking new. They were supposed to stink. Just some stats. 193 different pitchers had won a game between White Sox victories. Dylan Cease had 4 wins in the time between when the White Sox won their last game and yesterday.
Pretty good month.
Aaron Judge reached base 57 times since the White Sox won a game. These are...
Now, this isn't their first streak either. They
no,
had an earlier
first
streak.
Yeah, they got me over 10.5 early in the season, but...
They're just warming up.
This is insane. But, hey, good for them.
Well, we talked about it a lot. Sadly, if we'd have done this right, we could have made some money. I made money. I did not play the angle until the win.
You jumped in at the right time.
Well, I didn't. I should have jumped in a month ago.
You jumped in at the right time. Well, you jumped in at the right time to bet on them.
If we'd have played this right over the month of July, by yesterday, we could have retired.
So I sent you this yesterday. If you were a $100 bettor, that's you say, I'm going to bet.
I'm not quite that, but I should have been.
Okay, well, you can do the division however you want here. Or multiplication. I don't know what you are. I mean, you might be a baller.
I don't know.
If you're a $100 bettor and you said, okay, I'm going to bet that the White Sox lose a game, whatever, 22 games ago. And you said, okay, I won that $100 bet. I'm going to take my winnings. I'm going to roll it into the next day. And you did it for 21 games in a row. Your initial $100 investment would have gotten up to $787,853. And then yesterday you would have lost it all.
See, yesterday I probably would have already been out because yesterday we talked about it and I was like, the odds are astronomical, especially against the other worst team in baseball, that they lose another in a row.
But I think you might have been tempted because once you're at that 787,000,
man,
you win that bet and you're a millionaire.
I'd have been clinching diamonds. I couldn't have moved. I'd have been gone. But up until yesterday, because then yesterday, remember all the press, everybody started really talking about it. Now,
they set the record. They set they tied the AL record.
So at that point, you go, this little run is done. But I'd have gotten real close to that. I'd have been happy to keep rolling it up until yesterday. And that's the reason I actually bet the Sox to win yesterday and took the money and ran.
Okay, so here's the question I'm going to ask you. The Chicago Bears are a football team that plays in the same city as the Chicago White Sox.
Kind of far from Comiskey, but
not that far, really.
Not really, but night and day, south side to right there by the water.
Okay. If I told you, and we'll count the preseason games for the Bears. The Bears have 3 more preseason games and 4 regular season games between now and September 29th.
And okay, so they have the opportunity to win or lose 7 games.
7 games.
Who gets to 7?
Who wins more games between now and September 29th? The White Sox or the Bears?
Well, by previous trend, I'm going to go Bears.
I mean, in the last 3 weeks, they've both won one game. The Bears beat the Texans, and although it was rain shortened, they got the win, and the White Sox won yesterday.
And did I see where rookie isn't getting the start? He's sitting on the first game.
Caleb Williams?
Yeah, Caleb's not going to start first game.
Yeah, you know what? We need to talk about that. There's a lot of guys who aren't starting in the preseason or aren't going to play at all in the preseason that it throws me off, because to me, the guys that I would say don't need to play in the preseason are guys that I don't have questions about.
Exactly.
And those guys are so few and far between, but it's like, okay, Patrick Mahomes, I don't need to see you in the preseason. I know what you are. I know what you can do. To be quite frank, I don't know that I need to see Dak in the preseason. I know what Dak is. Dak's healthy. I know what he can do.
But here's the problem. I agree with that premise, but I have to have Dak out there throwing to these wide receivers that I can't even name them. At
That's
some
true.
point you got to spend some time together in the trenches. It's an interesting dynamic. I think I fall on the DeMeco Ryans side of things, that you got to get some rust knocked off you.
You know what?
I kind of fall there, although I don't think players agree with that.
Let's talk about this on the other side. We'll hit a break a little bit early so we can dig into this topic. But the idea of these guys not playing in the preseason just throws me off. We'll talk about that next. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Can a president not have sex with a porn star?
Clinton did it. No one had a problem with Clinton doing it.
Or Kennedy, or...
No one had problems with them doing it, right?
It's definitely an ingredient that was injected from the other side. What's the guy's name? The evil guy from Hungary, super rich.
Dracula?
No.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
The granddaddy of all hunting shows is back. The 2024 Hunters Extravaganza. August 16th through the 18th at the Freeman Coliseum Expo Hall. Fun for the whole family. Check out our hunting seminars, the latest in hunting equipment, last season's best bucks in our annual deer contest, and for the little hunters, games, live alligators, snakes, and more. August 16th through the 18th at the Freeman Coliseum Expo Hall. For details and tickets, go to huntersextravaganza.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Train heating and cooling systems are tested, retested, engineered, and re-engineered to keep up with you. We run together. Visit traininfo.com to find your local independent train dealer. Traininfo.com. It's hard to stop a train.
The NFL is on. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? It's the Morning Huddle. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Love you, friends. Let's do a giveaway to show that I love the friends. I think that's the move.
Hunters?
Yeah, let's give it to a hunter. If you want to enjoy the extravaganza of hunting, some call it the hunter's extravaganza. I call it the extravaganza of hunting, but for their marketing purposes, we'll just keep calling it the hunter's extravaganza. Hunters and outdoor enthusiasts.
I'm one of them.
I guess you could be an outdoor enthusiast and not be a hunter. You could go camping.
Don't really carry a rifle out anymore. They carry a camera.
Okay. The granddaddy of them all.
You have to sound like Keith Jackson.
The granddaddy of them all. The granddaddy of all hunting shows is back in Pasadena, California. Actually, it's in San Antonio, Texas. Don't miss the 2024 Hunters Extravaganza. It's August 16th through the 18th at Freeman Coliseum Expo Hall. It's fun for the whole family. Get your kids interested in AR-15s at a young age. That's the move.
There's no rifles.
There's no rifles?
There's no weapons sold. It's all the all the stuff that goes along with it.
Really? Mm-hmm. That's a separate show?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, get them interested in...
no, get them interested. Teach them how to use a
hunting accessories.
I'm just saying if you were going looking for rifles, they don't have.
I didn't know
that. Don't
buy
your weapons there.
Get them in. It's hunting accessories.
Yeah, all the stuff that goes along. All the coolest stuff.
Do they have
a snake pen, and there's going to be like live rattlesnakes and gators and all kinds of cool stuff.
Do they have like all the latest calling devices?
Oh yeah, if you're a turkey hunter, yeah. I'm telling you, if they don't got it, you don't need it.
Do it. Can you do a call, Vic?
No, I can't.
You don't turkey call?
Nah. I only go dove hunting.
That's not bad. Not a bad call.
I do okay.
It's a young buck.
Thank you. I can't do a turkey.
I don't do calls.
I don't know how to do a turkey.
I had a turkey call one time. There was a couple of sticks that you could rub together. That was pretty good. But I'm not a turkey hunter. So
I've never hunted a turkey.
They're wily beasts.
I like them pre-plucked.
Yeah, I like them.
But it's fun for the whole family. Enjoy seminars on the latest hunting tips and techniques. Experience the newest in hunting equipment, technology, and accessories. See the best bucks taken last season in the annual deer contest. And for the little hunters, enjoy games and come see live alligators, snakes, and more with Gator Country. They're gonna have snakes there.
They have a pen full of rattlesnakes.
I'm out.
And they bite the balloons. It's cool.
I hate snakes.
I can do spiders, but no snakes.
I don't want to. I'm not going in the same room with a bunch of snakes.
That's right. You're more of a fan of eels, if I recall.
I don't like either of those things. I'm against eels are snakes to me. They're all in the same group. I don't like them. But I kind of do like alligators. Alligators are basically dinosaurs. So if you want to see dinosaurs, this is the way to do it. What I'm basically wrapping up here is I got 2 free tickets to go to the dinosaur show.
That's what it is.
You'll see dinosaurs and hunting stuff. If you don't win, you can visit huntersextravaganza.com and you can get your tickets there. Here's what I'm going to do, though. I'm going to give this away to the Brigade Bar. Somebody on the Brigade Bar wants to go to the extravaganza. I'm going to give away the Sebastian tickets to a phone caller, but someone's who's watching YouTube right now is going to get you. One of you.
I'm pointing at you right there. You win. You're going to
We
win.
want you to win these tickets. And here's how you're going to do it. All you have to do is if you listen to the last segment, you got a chance. Because here's the question. First person in the Brigade Bar to tell me where 49-year-old skateboarder Dallas Oberholzer is from. What country does he represent in the Olympics? You're going to the Hunters Extravaganza. Just like that. I like this Brazilian juggling skateboarder.
Well, yeah, what was that? Did he finished up and he had a bowling pin?
He juggles bowling pins and like holds a skateboard in his mouth. That dude's a
Respect.
star.
What's the difficulty on that move?
I will say that Dallas Oberholzer, if he can have any kind of success, he's going to be a star at the Olympics. Because you see that dude gets up there, he looks like you. He's got long gray hair and a gray beard. It's like, and it's all under his skating helmet. And it's like, yeah, he's like adjusting his knee pads. Ryan, by the way, wins the Hunters Extra. Ryan, call in to Vic and we'll get you hooked up.
Yeah.
He's from South Africa.
656-3776, Ryan.
But Dallas Oberholzer, all he has to do is do all right. If he can do all right, just qualify something.
You get to test out that
he's going to be a star.
Cardboard bed.
Oh, imagine. I bet he'll be banging that Harvard sprinting chick.
I hope. Oh.
You like her.
We will not defile
What's her
America's
name?
sweetheart. Gabby?
Gabby what?
Lewis?
Gabby Lewis. She's the big star of the Olympics, huh? No, I don't think
that wasn't it. What?
No,
Gabby?
It's not Gabby Lewis.
Thomas, sorry.
Gabby Thomas. She is a Harvard grad, a master of public health. I mean,
a neuroscientist and very, very fast.
Good for her.
Get used to her.
Yeah, it looks
She's
that way.
Be a lot of places for a long time. Get used to her.
Well, she is good at running, good at being smart.
She's good at being cute.
Yeah, she's a good-looking gal. Oh, and guess what? Guess where she's following up her Harvard education at?
DeVry?
The University of Texas Health Science Center.
See?
She's got some Texas ties now.
UT Health Science Center.
Look at her.
Isn't that here?
No, it's in Houston.
Oh. She's
Yeah.
gonna be on TV.
She is now a she was in Tokyo. She got silver in the 4x100, got bronze in the 200, won the gold yesterday. She was I got a feeling we ain't winning no silver medal in the 100-meter relay this year.
I think it's gold, baby.
We're not settling for that. Does she run the 100 as well, or is she only running 2?
No, she just ran the 2, I believe. She in the qualifying race yesterday. The second place wasn't even in the pictures. I mean, in a 200-meter race, and she won it by 15 meters. It was crazy.
Excellent. So that's one more gold medal. So is she done running then?
No, she's got several. She hadn't won the 200 yet. I think she'll win it today. Oh, she won it.
It's over.
So it's done. Well, that I think
21.83.
I think she's toward 2 or 3 races that she's trying to get.
Okay, good. I like it when you need to run more than one race. If you want to be a real star,
mm-hmm.
you got to do like the Carl Lewis thing. You got to be good at a few things. Can't just be. We can't be a specialist.
Let's look it up. Let's see what Gabby's got to do.
Like Usain Bolt, they said it's a race. Who's going to win? Usain Bolt. How far is it?
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. He won.
Doesn't matter. He's going to win.
He's won. When Usain Bolt was running, it was like, let's have him run against a leopard to make it interesting. But good for her. That's good. Her net worth is between 1 and 5 million, says Christopher.
That's going to triple in 3 days.
Wow. Good for her. Good for her. Make that money, baby. Okay, so we were talking about. Oh, there she is now. They're talking about her on the telly. Good for
Get
her.
used to her. I'm telling you, she is going to be front and center. She's going to run the 4x100 as well.
Yeah, she's a good-looking gal. She runs fast. People like that stuff. Does she have really, really long fingernails?
No, I don't think she.
Because that's how you get to be a real big track star. If you're a gal, you have to have you have to have claws.
It didn't quite.
I've never Oh man, she is a.
Oh, this is it.
Beast. Yeah, this is the final.
This is it. Yeah.
And she cruised.
Yeah.
That wasn't even close.
I'm not a world record, 21.8 though.
Yep, good enough. Good enough. So very cool. Yeah, she'll be a star, no doubt. We were talking about quarterbacks sitting out, and there's 2 of them that I've seen so far. One of them we know for a fact isn't playing this preseason. Kyler Murray. That throws me off. Kyler Murray to me is a guy who needs reps. He's got a new coach. So it's a new system, a new offense. He missed most of last season. I get that you don't want to get your guy hurt, but give him a series that just a couple reps.
How long would you play a guy? I mean, would you play him only with the ones? Of course.
I
right?
would only play him with the first team offensive line. Receivers, whatever, I don't care about that.
But what if your first team offensive line is banged up? I mean, I'm trying to find the justification for not, because we look at these preseason games as, an attempt to prepare yourself for the season. And the fact of the matter is, it's not. It's a way to make a little bit of money for the home team gate. That's what this is, a money-making gig. It's not about prepping for the season. You can do that fine in practices and control scrimmages. So if you're going to find some kind of justification for it, you got to play them at some point. But there's so many variables that go into it. And I heard D'Amico Ryans talking about it, head coach of the Texans, going, yeah, I think you need to play, but there are variables involved. And I think, Kyler, you hit it on the head. If there's a guy that needs some reps, that needs to be on the right plane, especially in a timing kind of offense, which I assume they're going to be in. And you better get him out there. But if you're missing your left guard and left tackle and the whole thing gets blown up every time you try to run a play, then that's no good for anybody.
I agree with what you're saying. There are variables. But to come out before the preseason even starts and say Kyler's not going to play at all in the preseason, now you're just saying there are no variables.
Right.
I think that's a bad idea. The other guy who they haven't, it's not firm that that he's not going to play at all in the preseason, but we know he's certainly not going to play in the first preseason game, is Deshaun Watson. Another guy who, let's face it, for whatever reason, he's not figured it out. He's not what he was before his issues popped up. Like, I need to see something out of this dude. And to say, we're just not going to play him in the preseason, we know what he can do. I don't like that, because I don't know what he can do.
All right, you're the head coach, and you play Deshaun Watson, your $240 million dude, whatever, and blows a knee on the second snap.
That sucks, but I just lost maybe the 15th best quarterback in the league.
But you're best, though. You've already punted the season because you needed to knock the rust off. I mean, I get the argument, though. If you're a coach that's worried about that, you got other problems. You know what I mean?
That's what I mean. Listen, everybody, if your quarterback gets hurt, your season pretty much is in the dumper.
So you just kind of go with the life that, but that could happen anytime from day one. Ask Aaron Rodgers. We had him wrapped in the preseason, didn't let him do anything, and he rolls out and 2 snaps in, it's over. So you can try to protect him. There's the act of God stuff, but you can also kind of regulate the issues. And if knowing full well I don't have a left tackle to protect my quarterback, and then Kyler a right tackle, I'm not going to put him out there. I get it, but I'm not risking an entire season for that. But at the same time, I got to see my guys play. I've always been that. Now, there are some guys I wouldn't let play because they run hot. There's some guys I don't want to see play. I don't want to let get on the court or the field just because their effort level lends itself to something that I don't even want to see yet. Like, there's only so many snaps Micah Parsons has in a season, and we've seen him run down in week 14, 15, 16. Maybe he's a guy I don't play in the preseason. Maybe he's a guy I know you run hot, and I don't want to regulate you.
But I guess that Micah Parsons is still a top-level player.
And defense is different. I get it.
I don't know what Deshaun Watson is right now. Here's what I know. Deshaun Watson's been a Cleveland Brown for 2 years. Of those 2, in year 1, the Browns' top passer was Jacoby Brissett. In year 2, the Browns' top passer was Joe Flacco.
Right.
Like, at some point, hey, man, we can't treat you with kid gloves. We know you're getting paid no matter what. You got paid 2 years ago, you hardly played. You got paid last year, you hardly played. And when you have played, let's face it, you ain't been that good.
No, not up to your contract anyway.
All I know is the Cleveland Browns were a playoff team last year with Joe Flacco basically leading the team. I need to see what I've got with Deshaun Watson. And I get what you're saying. There's the risk. Yeah, if he blows his knee out. But again, Oh, wow. We got to go a
Okay.
year without Deshaun Watson.
go down
We've
the
done
list.
it 2 years in a row.
Joe Burrow, do you play him?
No.
Let's what about Buffalo? Josh, you
No.
play him? You know, even though
Josh will play anyway. He'll want to play. But he's one of I'm telling you, there's going to be about 5 no's on this list for me. But he's one of them.
So
No.
Josh, so upper echelon. Okay, what about, let's say, in Seattle with Geno?
Yes.
Even though they ain't know much more about Geno to know. I mean, but you got to play him.
Yeah, you got to play Geno.
Stafford.
No.
For the injury issues,
Yeah.
right? Goff.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Tua.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Trevor.
Here's why. When I say like Goff and Tua specifically, same thing you said about Kyler. These are timing-based offenses. Like, you need to have some reps just to know what game speed bullets are like.
Anthony Richardson.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Even though the injury, I mean, every
I don't
day
care.
we're getting healthier and
You
better.
might not play next year, but you gotta have, dude. The guy's in his second year.
I agree.
He's essentially a rookie.
Baker Mayfield.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think Baker needs, for me, I wouldn't play him. I know who Baker Mayfield is. I know his problems, but I know who Baker is.
Yeah, I'm having Baker play. I mean, I can probably give you the list. It's Mahomes, it's Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Matt Stafford,
Dak
Prescott.
Really?
I think that might be my whole list. And yeah, I can't think of any other ones offhand, because even guys like Jalen Hurts, like Lamar Jackson. I don't need Lamar Jackson to play.
Truth. And there's a lot of reasons for that.
Yeah. I don't need Lamar Jackson.
What about all the rookie, like second-year rookies, like Bryce? How many snaps does he need to get blown up in the preseason? Okay.
Plenty. Because guess what? If Bryce Young gets hurt, the Panthers suck anyway.
Well, they already suck.
Okay. But don't you have to figure out what Bryce Young is?
And this is where the witchcraft of being a coach goes. I watched Bryce get blown up 1,000 different ways last year. You know, his offensive line wasn't helping. He didn't have anybody to throw to. He's running for his life. And after a while, you shell shock a quarterback. At some point, you got to take him out of the gauntlet. You know, maybe I just don't want him to get beat up anymore, whether he needs the reps or not.
Yeah.
I don't know where that is. And if there's one quarterback I would apply that to, it would be in Carolina, because it feels like he had a hell of a year. Some of it was just, naivety and ineptitude, and others, it wasn't even his fault. He's just running for his life.
One name I didn't say, and I thought about it, and I was like, maybe not him, but it's still him. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers. I would still play Aaron Rodgers in a preseason game or two. I know he won't, but
there's no way he takes a snap until it counts if I'm involved.
I'd run him out there. I mean, the dude's played
I know
three plays with
that team. The way I
look
at it, we are literally watching the clock tick down, and there's only so much sand in this hourglass. And as if he's playing, if he's available, I cannot let it touch.
Kirk Cousins.
See, new team, new spot. Kind of feel like I need him out there.
I think so.
Especially with all those weapons. I want to see how he uses them. He's got to play.
Most of these guys, and maybe I think I'm in the minority when it comes to these. Like, I just say, get your ass out there. Let's see what you got. I'm not asking them to play a full game. I'm saying one of the preseason games, they'll play like a series.
And do you get enough out of a series? 3 snaps?
You get to see live game speed. And I think there's something to that. You play with an urgency of knowing that somebody's trying to hit you. And then I think the second preseason game, how do they do it now with the 3 game? Because remember, the third preseason game used to be like
traditionally the
full warm up,
and then the fourth one was the bomb squad, who's going to make the team.
Now I think the second game tends to be the most real life one. In the second game, I would play most of these guys a quarter. Most of these guys, I don't need to see more than a quarter out of it. Unless they're one of these guys that's in a QB battle, like Sam Darnold and JJ McCarthy. I say, Sam, you got the first half. JJ, you got the second half. Game 2, you're flipping. And Sam's got the first half with the ones. JJ's got the second half with the 2.
Those are 2 young guys that got to go earn it. That's the best position to be in. I would love to be coaching that, because every snap will matter as to who actually gets to start. That'll be a fun offseason.
But you know what? Even when it's not young guys, because I'm saying the same thing in Pittsburgh. I'm saying Russ.
Oh no, I'm panicking every time Russell drops back, because I look at Russ a little bit different than you do. I wouldn't play him in the preseason. It would all be rookie. A rookie would play every snap.
I don't know how much better Justin Fields or Russ is than Justin Fields. I don't know if they're like. At this point, I don't know who's better. That's what I want the preseason to tell me.
Fields would play every snap for me. I wouldn't have Russell out there on the field. But if Fields is that good, he might earn it and take it from Russell. But Russell, I know who you are. And
who do you think has more potential right now?
Oh, Fields by far.
Then why protect Russ?
I'm not protecting him. I'm just trying to win a couple of games before Fields my starter.
That's like, because my thought is this, like, I don't think the Steelers, if the Steelers play their best, the Steelers aren't a Super Bowl winner.
Oh, well, I think that they're trying to rectify that. They're not going to go get Brandon Ayuk to pair with Justin Fields. This is a Brandon Ayuk and Russell win this year.
I disagree.
You think
completely. You know what? We can talk about that next, though. We'll talk about Brandon Ayuk and the times they are changing with that stuff. We'll discuss that next. Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
On your ride to work, it's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson, KTFM Floresville.
Over the past decade, the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the UFC fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch a game. The Roo Pub is next to the Angry Elephant and in the same plaza as the Big Blind there at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do
Let's play something, Grandma.
became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted it close to town with a picture window overlooking a yard. And you found it. Now when you sit down to dinner, you've got front row seats too. Your neighbor's daily pickleball game. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio representing people and families who've been injured in traffic collisions since 1994. The reason it's important to call me as soon as possible is the number of tricks and mistakes you can make, even up to talking to insurance companies, which I'm going to tell you not to do. And also some of the billing practices at our local hospitals. And over the last year, I've seen more and more of this, where hospitals are asking patients to sign benefits to assign, all in an effort to get more money to the hospital than they would receive if all you used was your health insurance. When you call, I will give you your options. We'll talk about your case. And all of that is free of charge. If you or a family member has been injured in a traffic accident, whether car, commercial truck, motorcycle, I want you to call me as soon as possible after the collision. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or go to my website at alawyerforus.com.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating with the Banana Bonanza smoothie.
Hey, and you can keep celebrating when you create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Go bananas.
I will. Hey, make it a large.
Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel will help you start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks. Words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks, "How's your French going?" you can say,
Babbel facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue.
Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
It's time to huddle up and listen close. For 2024, we pay tribute to a true game changer in the world of snacks, the unrivaled, the unbeatable, the pork rind. Yes, it's crunch time, and we're not just talking about the last few nail-biting minutes of the game. We're talking about a snack so audaciously crunchy, it puts those pretentious chips and pretzels to shame. So here's to you, Southern Recipe pork rinds, for being more than just a crunch. Southern Recipe pork rinds. It's crunch time. Find your rind at H-E-B.
94.1 FM. San Antonio Sports Center.
Dallas Cowboys added practice talent, signing linebacker Nick Vigil and Darius Harris, along with defensive tackle Albert Huggins. Team USA routed Brazil 122-87. France beat previously unbeaten Canada 82-73. In local news, Texas West from Bernie beat Louisiana 6-3 and are heading to Williamsport for the Little League World Series. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
But if you like something weird, if you're an adult, you like to dress up as a baby, there's a website for you. 30 years ago, if you like to dress up as a baby, nobody knew that. You did that in the privacy of your own home. If you ever came out of your house with a diaper on, your neighbor would go, call the FBI, get this out of the neighborhood, right? It was handled. But today, just throw it up in the Google. I like to dress up as a baby. Next thing you know, they're at the Hilton on a Saturday with 863 people that like to do it.
Sebastian Maniscalco. You can see him at the Frost Bank Center. Win a pair of tickets to see Sebastian Maniscalco August 11th at the Frost Bank Center. How do you do it, you might ask? Well, I'm going to say be caller number 5. If you're caller number 5 to our little radio program at 210-656-3776, you and a friend or your wife or your mistress
or whoever it might be.
Whoever. Or your boyfriend. I don't care what you're into in your own time. None of my business. You guys can go see Sebastian Maniscalco. And if you don't win the tickets, you can still buy them. LiveNation.com. That's this weekend. The big show. The big show. It's on Sunday, huh?
Is it Sunday or Saturday?
It looks like
4
Sunday.
days.
The 11th today is the 7th. That makes Sunday the 11th.
There we go.
Sunday the 11th.
I'm going to be tired on Monday morning.
Yeah. Today's my son's 17th birthday. I got to send him a happy birthday
celebrations
text.
for the young.
Yeah, for the young lad. He called me yesterday and he said, "Good news, Dad. The doctors, I'm done growing." And I was like, "Good for you," because he's like, I think he's gotten to the point where it's like, I don't want to be any bigger. It's
about 6'5".
Yeah, it's just like, but like his feet, all this. He's like, I just don't want to be any bigger. It's hard to. Being big is kind of hard. Like it's. Listen, I'd rather be a big dude than a small dude.
But go sit on an airline for 3 hours.
You go to an airline, you go try to buy shoes. Like there's big people got their problems too. All right.
You eventually age into the tall and fat section. There's some, we do have our own section.
We got a winner. Vic. Oh, he's
talking to him.
Oh, he's talking to him now. Okay. Never mind. All right. The Brandon Ayuk situation, we talked a little bit about yesterday, and we said, well, it looks like Pittsburgh has bowed out, and the offers that were accepted by the 49ers were from the Cleveland Browns and the New England Patriots. Like the framework was set between the teams, and all it boiled down to was getting the job done on the contract extension. Well, that's changed now. Now Pittsburgh is in and New England is out.
But New England didn't want to be out. They were told they were out.
Brandon Ayuk doesn't want to play in New England. Now imagine that. This guy is so disgruntled that he doesn't want to show up at camp. Okay, I accept that. Listen, I'm not like one of these guys who's like, you signed a contract, get your ass in there and play. I understand the way leverage works. I'm not mad at CeeDee Lamb for doing what he's doing. I get it.
Okay, but I don't understand why you're so mad at what Ayuk's doing.
Dude, you're demanding a trade. You don't want to show up at camp because you're demanding a trade. Why? Because the 49ers don't want to pay you enough money. Okay. Well, guess what? The New England Patriots are willing to pay you enough money.
But so are the Steelers. And maybe even Cleveland.
Okay. Maybe they are. But if they were, these deals would already be done.
All I'm saying is it appears that I don't think it's so bad to go, you know what, of the 3 teams that want me, that team sucks with a rookie young quarterback. I don't want to play for that guy. I'd rather play for these other 2 teams that have quarterbacks that are ready to throw me the ball. I would do the same. Like, you know what, New England, thanks for everything, but no.
Dude, then shut your mouth, play until you're a free agent.
Well, there's the wide receiver problem.
And then pick where you want to go. That's how it works.
The greatness of a wide receiver ego never ceases to amaze. I mean, he's not the first one to go, I ain't going to play for him.
Don't complain that you're in such a bad situation that you're not going to participate in camp. And then they find you a trade partner who's willing to extend you and pay you what you're asking that the 49ers said thanks, but no thanks to. And now you're saying
Steelers. So are the Steelers and so are the Browns.
But guess what, Rob? The Steelers and the Browns apparently haven't made the kind of offer that Brandon Ayuk is going to say yes to or a kind of offer that the 49ers are okay with.
If he ends up waving every deal off and he ends up staying in San Francisco and not, getting the ball and not getting paid, then he will have failed. But right now, I mean, if you're chasing me, I'm going to run a little faster. You know what? I appreciate the offer, but I don't want to play for you guys. You're not good enough. Maybe he's not of the status to say that.
Brandon Ayuk needs to play out his deal, become a free agent. If he's that particular about where if he's going to have every detail's got to be met, when you're able to do that, when you're a free agent.
He obviously couldn't have said no unless he felt like there's another deal floating around. I don't want to play for the Patriots.
I think he could have, because I think he realizes if I go to New England, I get exposed for what I am. He doesn't want to be exposed for what he is. Brandon Ayuk's a good wide receiver. Brandon Ayuk's not special.
But he doesn't know. He, in his mind, is Debo. He, in his mind, is CD. And I'm like, I ain't playing for a bad team.
Whose mind do you trust more to scout these guys? Brandon Ayuk or Kyle Shanahan?
Well, I think Shanahan he's already hoodwinked the Cowboys. So I do think that he's dealing in a position of strength. But at the same time, Ayuk, I don't have a problem with him telling New England, go away, man. I'm not playing for you.
Like I said, the 49ers had deals in place with Cleveland and New England. The 49ers do not have a deal in place with Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, apparently, the holdup is getting a deal done with the 49ers.
Right.
Pittsburgh's willing to pay Ayuk.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not sure what they want to give up.
Yeah, and I don't blame them. And I think at the end of the day, that's going to be the downfall for Ayuk, that the comeback is probably going to be asked for so much. I don't know what he's going to end up.
Now, the Browns, they and the 49ers have agreed.
But the money.
But the Browns don't want to pay as much as Brandon Ayuk wants. That's why this is all like, that's why when you've got a team like the Patriots who say, okay, the deal's in place, we're going to offer you the money that you're asking for, and you say no, it's like, dude, if I'm the 49ers, I don't feel bad for you now. This is what you wanted.
If I'm the 49ers, I agree with you. But if I'm Ayuk and I see 3 teams going for me, and the least likely is the one that my team is spending too much time trying to make a deal on, like, you know what? I'll tell you what, don't even focus on New England. I don't want to go there. Just talk to the Steelers, talk to Cleveland. Let's figure it out there. Don't waste a minute of mine or your time at a team that, quite frankly, they're going to have the best possible deal for me to even consider it.
There's an article in the San Francisco Chronicle about the hold-in that Ayuk is doing, where he's showing up, he's just not practicing. Apparently, it's now reached the point where it's kind of pissing off Kyle.
Yeah, I bet.
Apparently, because that Ayuk is brooding, and he's bringing negative energy. And
I wouldn't let him in the building. I wouldn't.
Now, here's the deal. The 49ers could say, hey, if you don't get out here and practice, that's conduct detrimental.
I agree.
And you're going to be fined and maybe suspended for that.
I would have no problem if they chose to do that. That's their part of their negotiating abilities.
But apparently, like, Kyle's gotten to the point where he's like, let's just get rid of this dude. I don't want him. The entire Kyle Shanahan, the way that they pick guys is, and I think we saw it watching that receiver show. John Lynch, I think, is really the pusher behind this. John Lynch values guys that wake up and say, I cannot wait to play football and kick ass for this team. And I think when you watch that thing, you see George Kittle, that's what he is for sure. He wakes up and he's going to run through a wall. He doesn't care. Bosa's the same way. I think Christian McCaffrey, when he's able to be healthy, is a dude he just wants to get out there and play football. Brandon Ayuk doing this is so non-49ers that they're just like, dude, I would rather you not be there at all than not be pushing in the same direction as the team.
Do you think he can make it so bad that Lynch will take less just to get him out of the building? Because it seems like a ploy to me. Like, if I was away, I might be out of sight, out of mind. I'm going to just show up every day, and I'm going to be a general nuisance to the point where you're just going to have to get me out of the building, because I'm going to fulfill as much of my contract as I can without setting foot onto a field for my own financial reasons. It ain't to help you. It's just so I don't get fined or whatever the case might be. I don't know how a hold-in is different from a holdout, but evidently it is. I think he's trying to be that general nuisance to the point where Lynch and Shanahan are like, man, I'd rather wave goodbye for less right now because I got a Super Bowl to go win.
I really think that's where he's at.
Well, I think that if you're going to be a general nuisance, turn down one of the deals. Turn down the New England deal. And like, you know what? I appreciate the effort, but nah, go back to work.
You know
that's
what?
The kind of thing gets you out of the building.
Yeah, but you know what? I'll say this, and this worries me about his potential to be in Pittsburgh. Remember Antonio Brown? And there's been a handful of players for the Steelers. And Mike Tomlin, every year that there's a holdout, says the same thing. We want volunteers, not hostages.
Oh, yeah. Ayuk he better be flying straight one the time he lands in Pittsburgh. I think he understands that.
If I'm Mike Tomlin, I'm looking at Brandon Ayuk and going, is this the kind of guy I want to pay for and trade assets for?
I still think
Maybe
we're in
not.
the it's just business side thing. I still think we're still in the it's just business.
Dude,
it's not personal yet.
I was totally for him doing this until he turned down the Patriots.
It's the arrogance of the wide receiver. You have to add about 10% to the flair factor of any deal that comes with a wide receiver, because they have that arrogance that they're the best guy on the field and should be treated as such all the time, even though Ayuk is coming from a place where he's not even the best receiver on the field when he's out there. And I'm talking not just wide receiver, tight end too. So the arrogance of a dude that you are literally the fourth best weapon on this team, and you're turning down New England? Yeah, that's a wide receiver, and the arrogance that goes along with it. And Tomlin knows what he's getting. He's, like you said, he's dealt with Antonio Brown.
Yeah. Not happily.
No.
That's why I'm saying
mess.
If I'm Mike Tomlin, I'm going,
but I'll tell you
I
what,
want to deal with this garbage.
He was the only one that could control him.
Yeah. Well, and Tom Brady for a short amount of time.
For a brief shining moment.
Yeah. I was on Ayuk's side until I heard this. This is like, this is the idea that you're forcing your way out of somewhere, but then you're like, I want out. I'm done with this place. I'm out.
Not there.
And they're like, go find a team that'll trade for you. He finds a team. Find a team that'll trade for you and pay you what you want to trade or what you want to be paid. They find one, and he's like, nah, she's not pretty enough.
Who's his agent?
It's like, dude, I don't know what you're looking for is coming in 1 year. It's called free agency, unrestricted free agency. You get to interview 31 other teams. You get to say, this is what I want for money. I like this about your team. I like this about this team. And you get to pick and choose. You don't have to deal with the 49ers at all.
Okay, I agree with that. But if I do it right, I can do the same thing and make approximately $10 million more. Because that's the difference.
Of getting it this year versus
yeah, if I wait, I can get a new deal now and I'll start making $10 million more or whatever it might be. Or I could be a good soldier and bide my time and give up $10 million.
Dude, you just passed on that $10 million because the girl wasn't pretty enough.
I know. That's the aggravating part
Piss
of,
off.
Let's just like, let's screw it. I'm getting rid of this cat.
Yeah, that's why, like, dude, you know what? I'm done talking to you. I would honestly, I would say, hey, you know what? We're not trading you. Deal's off. You need to be out here ready to practice tomorrow. And if you're not, you're going to be fined and suspended. And you're going to use, not only are you going to lose out on a year of money, you're going to lose out on a year of service time. So if you don't get out here and play, guess what? You're going to be under contract with us next season. And I'm going to ask you to do the exact same thing. So put on your big girl panties, get your ass out here and play, because I'm done with these.
I thought you wanted to go to a Super Bowl.
I would say FF games.
I thought you wanted to go to a Super Bowl.
Dude,
without me, you ain't going.
BS.
That's
BS,
my response.
Bubba.
Good luck, then. I'll see y'all later.
Yeah, we'll see you later. Oh, but guess what, man? You ain't gonna see me wearing another costume because you ain't putting on another helmet till you get your ass out here and start practicing.
And that's what Pittsburgh did, right? With Antonio Brown, and they ended up moving it.
Yeah. But
I mean, it sounds good in principle. It just doesn't work that way. It should. If this was the real world and you acted like that, that's how you would be treated. But it's just sadly not the real world.
Antonio Brown was not Pittsburgh's fourth best weapon.
There's something to be said for that. But the arrogance of a wide receiver and thinking that you could do all of this, and you're just the fourth best dude on your team. And really, by most accounts, not even considered to ever be in the realm of a guy that could act like that, even at your best.
The other thing is, like, Ayuk wants to be paid like he's a top G.
Yes.
And I've got nothing that tells me that's what he is.
The arrogance again. You look at this, and then he turns down the deal, and you go, "Why is he acting like this?" Because he's going to become such a fly in the ointment. You'll just kick him out the door, and he'll go where he wants.
This is like, dude, it's like Scarlett Johansson proposing marriage to you.
You going, and
then like you're excited. She's a millionaire. She's gorgeous. The sex is incredible, but maybe she has a birthmark like on the side of her boob, tiny little blemish. And you go, nah, I'm out.
Not out. Maybe you could get that taken off.
No, he said he's out. He's out with the Patriots. I'm out. He said Drake May.
I was comparing her to the 49ers.
He said Drake May is a tiny little birthmark. I'm out on that. You're offering me everything else I want in life, but there's something about you that doesn't.
Well, there might be a better looking one in Cleveland.
Well, she ain't. Again, there might be. Nobody gets married unless they think.
I'm kind of shocked at your attitude about Ayuk. I would have thought you'd have been on the other side of this.
Dude,
because
I really was until yesterday.
He's playing a master class in this. He really is. This is a master class on how you go get paid.
I don't think he is.
Oh, it's by design. The hold
we'll
in.
See.
I'm going to be annoying. I'm going to ruin the karma of the building while we go through this.
I think what he's done, he's overplaying his hand. I think he's sitting at the table with a couple sharks in John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, and he's holding a pair of eights, and he's still acting like he's got aces. And eights and aces don't play the same way in the end. They just don't.
What would be a win now?
I mean, a win for him would be getting traded to Cleveland or Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm. It's still in the realm.
It's still a possibility. But if I'm Cleveland, I say, well, now I've got leverage because now there's one less team. There was only two teams that had agreed to this deal with the Niners. Two teams that had packages they were willing to give up. And if I'm the Steelers, I'm like, well, I'm playing chicken here because the Browns aren't going to pay him what he wants.
Well, they do have division rival going on here. If I don't get it, my guy across the street does. I think he's playing this well. I don't think it's going to work out the pay quite as well that he thinks it's going to. And this is a guy that's willing to exit the only team in the NFL other than Kansas City who has the shot at a Super Bowl. He's willing to leave that. So maybe we don't apply sanity to any kind of decision that he makes.
Brandon that's why I've gotten to where I have with him. Brandon Ayuk's a dummy. And Brandon Ayuk I think he's going to end up realizing that he's a dummy. And maybe it was a smart move not to go to New England, for his long-term career. But I think for the short term, I think he's going to end up in San Francisco. He's going to stay there. He's going to be salty all year, and he's going to walk next year, and he's not going to get what he thought he was going to get because people are going to look at him and go, that guy didn't play all that well last
year. He could end up with a ring. I mean, he could fall ass backwards into a Super Bowl.
All right, let's hit a break. When we come back, you know what? We haven't talked much foosball. Oh, you know what? We'll talk foosball later.
Foosball.
We got to talk about Team USA. The game last night. We got to get into that. So we'll do that next. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
How you feeling this morning? If you woke up with no pain and you got your day going the right way, keep it to yourself. You're one of the minority. Enjoy your day. For the rest of us who woke up with something bothering us, slowing us down, something painful that won't let us do what we want to do or keeps it from happening as fast as we want, listen real close. You don't have to live this way. You don't have to be a slave to the pill bottle to take the medication to dull the pain so you can go to work. You don't have to be that kind of slave. You can get that pain fixed by Arasti. Arasti providers are all around San Antonio with one abiding goal, and that's to get you out of pain as fast as possible. Many physicians and medical professionals attempt that, but it's the way that Arasti does it that has made him so successful because it's not about pills to hide the pain. It's not about surgery to prolong. It is about your body fixing itself, and it works remarkably well. Whether you're dealing with a soft tissue injury, maybe it's a sprain or a pull. Maybe you're dealing with tension headaches, plantar fasciitis. Maybe it's lower back issues. Maybe you've strained or frozen a shoulder or a hip. We've all dealt with this kind of stuff that can be fixed if you go to the right place. Arasti accept most insurances, and here's the good news. If you're in pain now, call them now. You don't need a referral. Here's the number. It's 1-800-404-6050. Listen close. Don't let pain keep you from doing things that you love. We've evolved to the point that Arasti is there. Call them today. Let them get you fixed. And when you do, you can come by and thank me later.
94.1 FM.
The Golf Club of Texas has some of the best course conditions with the friendliest staff. The golf is great. They have lighted driving range and practice area. While it feels like a country club, it's not a private club. It's open to the public, so bring the family into the Tin Cup Bar, the nicest sit-down restaurant in that area of San Antonio, specializing in Texas food, wine, and spirits. For golf or dinner, go to the Golf Club of Texas off Highway 90, online at golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, the friendliest golf course in Texas.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collision since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you or a family member needs an experienced attorney, an attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyerforus.com.
The biggest pro football contests in Vegas are back. Circa Survivor and Circa Million are now up to a record $16 million in guaranteed prizes. 2 ways to win and no rate. Circa Survivor contestants select one team each week with no point spread. Last the longest to win it all with $10 million guaranteed. In Circa Million, make 5 picks against the spread each week for your share of $6 million guaranteed through quarterly and full season payouts. Enter in Nevada. Play from anywhere. Visit circasports.com for details.
It's Wrangler season out there. Warmer days, cooler nights, open roads, endless horizons. And you need to be ready in jeans made for the unpredictable. Wrangler, for the ride of life. Shop our newest styles today at Wrangler.com.
Savings. Now that's speaking the Lowe's language. And when you join My Lowe's Rewards for free, the savings just keep coming. Save money with member-only offers, plus earn points when you shop. More points equal more rewards, just for you. Because Lowe's knows you earned it, literally. Learn more about our loyalty program at lowes.com/MyLowe'sRewards and become a member for free today. Program subject to terms and conditions. Points are awarded on eligible purchases. See lowes.com/terms for full details. Subject to change.
Save on O'Reilly Brake Parts Cleaner. Get 2 cans of O'Reilly Brake Parts Cleaner for just $8. Valid in-store only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. With a true Vegas feel, the Big Blind is the premier poker room in San Antonio, featuring an upscale environment catering to players from all abilities. From high-octane tournaments or lively cash games, the Big Blind has a game for everyone, including blackjack tournaments. From the owners of the Root Pub and the Angry Elephant, the Big Blind is locally owned and operated, offering daily cash games to daily, weekly, and monthly tournaments. Learn more online at thebigblindsa.com. The Big Blind at 281 and Redland Road.
You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Tarek Aga is our winner of the Maniscalco tickets. Let's see. A lot of people talking about what this Steelers talk. What are we talking about? Maybe it's a coach when you want to play for Tomlin. Yeah, sure. I'd love to play for Tomlin.
Steelers got an eye for wide receiver talent.
They do. They're good at picking them out. But if I'm Tomlin, do I want this guy who's obviously a little biatch?
On the Antonio Brown scale of crazy, Ayuk's about a 5, where Antonio would be a 10.
Yeah.
So he's seeing crazy come through.
But also on the talent.
Well, yes, he's not Antonio.
He ain't Antonio Brown.
No, he's not.
And yeah, did he have 1,300 yards receiving last year?
And he also had
a fantastic year. But guess what? It sure is a lot easier to be that dude when like a nickel cornerback is covering you all year.
And he had a quarterback that was his guy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those two were joined at the hip. Now he doesn't have a quarterback. He's got a couple. He's got a mercenary in Russell Wilson and a kid. And before he had a quarterback that had been there as long as he had that could help control a wide receiver like that.
And he also had Kyle Shanahan.
Well, I'm talking about when Tomlin had Brown.
Oh, okay.
He had a quarterback that was a bigger dude than he was.
Yeah, but I think the other thing, when you're getting away from Kyle Shanahan, it's like, careful what you wish for, dude. Careful what you wish for. Well, by the way, I think Arthur Smith is going to be. I think he's going to do well in Pittsburgh as an OC. I think Arthur Smith is one of those guys who's great coordinator, not great head coach.
We'll see. He's going to have to open that offense up a little bit.
Yeah,
going to have to with those two quarterbacks.
I think working with guys like Justin Fields, you've got more options than working with like a decrepit Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill is one of those guys who, God bless him, he made a hell of a career out of something that I never, ever, ever saw. Like, I never thought Ryan Tannehill was going to be good. I never thought he was good. Like, watching him in the NFL, I was like, how does this work? And God bless him, that dude made like a long, very, very lucrative career out of being about a league average quarterback. And
best Aggie quarterback ever to hit the NFL.
I guess so.
As far as career.
Yeah, I guess so. Unless you count Kyler Murray.
I don't think we count him.
No.
I don't think he's going to go down to the annals. We'll count Johnny long before.
Okay. Well, I think Kyler
wore that uniform a year.
I think Kyler may end up having more skins on the wall in the NFL than Johnny Manziel.
At least Johnny hung around for a couple years. You know what I mean? Thick and thin.
No, I get why Brandon Ayuk's doing what he's doing, but when you say, hey, I want out of this place, I want to go somewhere where they're going to pay me, and the 49ers say, okay, you find someone who will pay you, we'll work out a deal with them. He found the one out of 31 teams that
didn't think they'd say yes.
Met his requirements and San Francisco's requirements, and he's like, nah.
Oh, wait.
Nah.
I thought Brady was still in. He's not here?
No.
Who's the quarterback?
Who's the coach?
Who?
I'm out. Well, good luck to him. I think he's a dope. Team USA. This was, I think, the performance they really needed in the knockout round. It's one thing to bang around these pool play teams that, most of them aren't worth it. I mean, South Sudan, Puerto Rico, you're supposed to beat the snot out of them. This was a team that had some NBA talent, had some, it was a respected team. And man, they gave them the business. And honestly, I think the best thing that happened to Team USA was seeing the early games and seeing Greece melt away a big lead, seeing Australia melt away a massive lead. And I think they said, hey, boys, we got to be serious. Canada losing is a favorite. The second best team in the tournament losing is a pretty big favorite. He said, this is a wild tournament. You can't leave any room for doubt. And they did not leave any room for doubt. This is the kind of performance that makes you go, okay, and I think we knew when these guys are playing at their best, they're going to win. I think this was the type of performance that said that even if they're a little offbeat, they're still going to be hard to beat outright. It's one thing are they going to beat teams by 40 when they're not playing their best? Probably not. But if you're beating teams by 40 when you're at your best, when you're not at your best, you can still win against most teams.
They held Brazil to 87 points, 12 of 37 from three. They couldn't rebound.
No.
They destroyed Brazil. I mean, this was as thorough a destruction as happened in the Olympics, and they're only getting better. And they went into it. Kerr was, there was an intent to try to get Embiid more involved, and early in the game, the thought was the Brazilians, they're big. That's a big, rough team. They were going to try to maul our bigs. They pulled Embiid out. He hit a couple threes early and never looked back. I think he had 14 in the first half or whatever.
He was the best player on the team.
And when he did that, then you go look at the numbers of the guys on the team. Nobody took more than 10 shots on the end. And you know who took 10? A bench player. That was Anthony Edwards. Everybody shot more than 6 shots. Everybody on the team, other than Derek White, who went 2 of 6, shot 50% or better. Tatum was 1 for 5, but those were in leftover minutes. This is a team that's sharing the ball. They're not playing a lot of minutes. There's assists. Everybody logging assists. Look out, man. This team is just now finding itself. By the time we hit a gold medal, this team can get 150. I mean, they're just popping on every cylinder right now.
Something I've realized watching LeBron in this tournament is that if LeBron were, if he had different teams his whole career, he could have been, such a special player as a passer. Like
well, they always thought of him as a point guard first. That was the knock on him, that he wouldn't take the shot. He'd rather give it to somebody who would.
He's got so much Magic Johnson to his game. Like the fact that this dude is the best all-time active players. This guy is the most accomplished player, and it's not even close. Like between him and the next most accomplished active player, it's not even close. And he is like embracing this role as the delivery man. Like he's making it. He inbounded a ball to Tatum on an alley-oop from half court. Yep. Like that's not supposed to happen ever. And I was like, dude, this is awesome seeing LeBron play. Like LeBron is thriving in this.
Look at his stat yesterday. So he is 5 of 6 from the field. He didn't have to take a 3. 9 assists, 3 steals, 6 rebounds, 21 points.
Rob.
There's a plus minus of 21. Just a fright. There's no better player in the world and no better player for what they're trying to do. And he exemplifies exactly what Kerr's talking about.
Rob,
we're all sharing it.
He's about to be 40 years old.
That's the other side of this. Well, half the other team's this old too. But
Isn't that wild? That at about 40 years old, he is doing the things he's doing. It's fascinating to me.
And here's the crazy thing about it. As he has existed, at the very same time, so has Kevin Durant. And those two guys, I think, have gone to every USA basketball thing together. I don't think one has gone without the other unless there was an injury involved. And LeBron could have easily set the all-time scoring record if he had wanted to do this over the last 20 years. But, he played a role in Durant getting it.
Yeah.
I mean, all those assists came from LeBron to Durant. It just is another sign of how truly great that he is. But this team, as you look at what they did to Brazil and what they're capable of doing, they're just rounding into form. They're just figuring out how to play together.
When Derek White got Kawhi's spot and Twitter was all ablaze about Jaylen Brown not getting on the team, there were people, I won't say they were serious people. They were unserious people who said Jaylen Brown deserves LeBron's spot.
Well,
like
those are guys wearing green.
LeBron's washed. Dude, LeBron might be the MVP of this thing at this point. He might be the most valuable player in the Olympics right now. I don't know. I don't think they even give out that trophy, but it certainly feels like what I've seen, he's been the dude. And just the fact that he can do it in so many different ways. If he wants to be the leading scorer, he'll be the leading scorer. If he wants to be the point guard, he'll be the point guard. He basically calls everything on the floor. It's incredible.
We shot nearly 50% from three. Yes.
Yeah, dude. When we shoot like that, it don't matter. It doesn't matter, dude. Like, you can have your best game. It doesn't matter.
The French team, the French game, I found very, really interesting because to me, it felt like Canada kind of fell apart. It became a Shea Gilgeous show, and there was a team that kind of got lost. And what we saw is, and what we've heard Steve Kerr talk about throughout the Olympics is the little dirty secret about FIBA basketball. It's defense. You don't feel like it is, but it is. And the French clamped down the other night. That's the only reason it's going to be an interesting final by the time we play them, because I don't think Germany or Serbia have a prayer. But when we do play them, it's going to be fun to watch that defense. That the French actually play better defense than the USA does right now. But man, oh man, what I can't wait to see the exhibition that Team USA is about to unleash on whoever they get for the gold medal, because this will be Joel Embiid's last Olympics. I mean, it'll be Drew Holiday's last Olympics. It'll be LeBron's last Olympics. It'll be Steph Curry's last Olympics. It'll be Anthony Davis's last Olympics. It'll probably be Kevin Durant's last Olympics. Yeah. You got to figure the rest of this. They're going to go out with a bang, not a whimper in Paris. If I'm Kerr, we're going to unleash the whirlwind. Let's go out and have some fun. Let's see if we can bust the clock on these fools.
I think we're headed to a USA Germany matchup.
You think the Germans can beat them?
Can be the Americans or the French?
Beat the French.
Yeah, I think they will.
They're going to have to play. They're going to have to hit every shot because there's nobody in the paint. They're not going to get anything down low.
I have seen. Well, and that's a good. I mean, even Germany's bigs can shoot.
They're going to have,
which is nice. But as I've watched this, I went in thinking that Canada was going to be the second best team in this tournament.
Too.
I think Germany's they've established themselves as the second best team.
It's funny. We look at them as an underdog. They are the reigning FIBA world champions. It's not like they haven't beaten us and everybody else in this tournament already.
Well, now all that's standing in our way of a rematch of WW2 is them damn Serbians, the Serbians. If we can get out of Serbians, and if we can get them out of here, U.S. will get the winner of France, Germany. But I'm leaning towards Germany being the team that's there. All right, let's hit a break. When we come back, we got to get into some Mike McCarthy sound, and I think we'll have Dr. Jason Garrett on as well. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio Sports Star.
Has a loved one died and left you an old car to sell? GiveMeTheVin.com has just launched the new service GMTVCC.com. Write this down, GMTVCC.com, which is Give Me the VIN classic and collector car buying service. GMTVCC.com will hook you up with GMTVCC Pro buyers that will appraise and offer on that 69 Chevelle, old Corvette, old truck, and especially Restomods. We love Restomods at GMTVCC.com. Don't mess with consignments or auctions. Get paid today on your classic or collector car at GMTVCC.com.
It's Jason and Joe from the Blitz. Join us at Circa Las Vegas in August for the Circa Sports Ultimate Contest Weekend.
The Blitz will be live at Circa August 22nd and 23rd, and then we're staying for the weekend. Come to Vegas with us for the Ultimate Contest Weekend.
Circa Survivor and Circa Million are back. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere.
So join the Blitz at Circa Las Vegas. More details and discounted rooms available online at sasportstar.com.
Gomez Law Firm has been taking care of the people of San Antonio for almost 50 years, the leader in personal injury law. Jose, tell us a little bit more about what you do.
We do ride-sharing cases, 18-wheeler cases. Obviously, we've done those for very many years. Work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then you need to visit joegomezlaw.com.
We've been around for almost 50 years, and we're not going anywhere.
Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating with the Banana Bonanza smoothie.
Hey, and you can keep celebrating when you create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm personal price plan. Go bananas.
I will. Hey, make it a large.
Bundling, just another way to save with the personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel will help you start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks. Words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks, "How's your French going?" you can say,
Babbel facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue.
Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Over the past decade, the Roof Hub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those three massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the UFC fights, and when you show up at the Roof Hub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch a game. The Roof Hub is next to the Angry Elephant and in the same plaza as the Big Blind there at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roof.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Let's go to our guy.
Our dude.
Our pal, our chief, Dr. Jason Garrett. Hello, Chief Doctor.
Hey, how's it going? I was hoping I could make this call. I'm actually in Fort Worth right now at the CrossFit Games.
We didn't. Okay, so this is the annual CrossFit Games.
They put it right up with the Olympics. Do you think CrossFit will ever be an Olympic sport?
No, I don't think so. Well, I mean, who knows? They're talking about skateboarding in there now.
Yeah.
Talking about gamers. I mean,
rock climbing,
like video games. Yeah. So who knows?
What's your event? What's your best event?
I'm pretty good at medium weight, long endurance things with a lot of high technical, challenging ring muscle ups, bar muscle ups, pull up kind of movements.
Okay.
That sounds awful.
Yeah.
I can tell you I'm not good at that. Having never seen nor done it, I already know.
Well, as someone who is in need of a shoulder surgery, those things aren't great for me. So I tend to sit them out. Max Scherzer hits the IL with shoulder fatigue again. Max Scherzer's not a young man. Is this just kind of a thing where Max Scherzer, like, is this obviously misses the beginning of the season, but him not ramping up properly in the season, or is this just something that happens with older dudes?
I think in this case, it's probably an underlying shoulder injury that's causing a little bit of inflammation. So nothing that's, major labral tear, major rotator cuff tear. But at that age, throwing that hard, your arm really isn't meant to move that way, that quickly. And so you're going to get some wear and tear, occasional inflammation that just won't go away, which then causes your arm to feel tired or dead, which is probably what's going on with him.
You know, when you deal with the kind of rehab and the work that McCullers has done, and we start seeing this closing out the season, I'm curious when you see a guy every year start to suffer a little bit more and more, is there a law of diminishing returns now? Can he return again to some level above where he was, before he got hurt again? Or is he just about done?
Well, things are changing this time of year with all the peptides, with all the growth hormone, all the stuff that's legal. Some maybe not quite as legal, but a lot of these drugs, these new peptides, are literally the fountain of youth that give guys a couple more years. So if he's probably on some of those things, if he gets good treatment, there's a chance he could have another year or two productive. But Father Time always wins, and you're probably right that it's getting close to the end of the road for him.
Here's a guy who's younger, but it seems like injuries are just derailing this career to a point where it's feels like it's already over. Lance McCullers Jr., the Astros announced he's not going to pitch again this year. Last time he pitched was the 2022 World Series. Last 2 years, he's been out with a muscle strain in his right arm and a surgery to repair his right flexor tendon. Like, if you haven't pitched for 2 years, what are the odds, I guess, that he'll come back and ever be as effective as he once was? As you start to, your age starts to get up there, your workload starts to go down, you lose that muscle memory. Like, is this the kind of stuff that's 2 years is pretty much a career changing time to miss at that point?
It probably is, but then again, having a $1 million arm is kind of a God-given thing. It's your natural ability to throw, and way harder than you physically should be able to, and that's not something you have to train for. It's something you have to train to maintain. But if he somehow heals up, he still has that talent. He's still young enough. I would say it's not likely for him to have a great career, but it's possible.
The long career for Olympians is about 2 weeks, as these guys are competing, and we're right in the middle of the track and field part of it. And you got these guys that are trying to qualify and run several events. I'm always interested in the rehab and the time between races. And what exactly have you lost after you've run, say, a 200-meter race? And how long does it take you to get back to what you needed to be to set a world record? It always feels to me like, why can't you just run it again that day? But normally they try to, it's a day or two away. What's that 24, 36-hour process to get yourself back into high race speed and form in between the heats?
Yeah, if you're a swimmer, you're in the pool. Literally after your race, there's a cool down pool, and you just swim slowly and try to get all that lactic acid out, try to move, and then take those next 24 to 48 hours to fully recuperate, get your electrolytes back up, make sure your range of motion is good, make sure you get some deep tissue work. Because what they do with most of those events, these guys swim at probably 90% usually, and then something like the Olympics, they somehow tap into a little bit more than their normal 100%. And when they do that, they're going to get a little muscle breakdown, a little joint fatigue. And so you really need those 2 days to fully recover.
Last one before we let you go, Doc. The Chargers have said that Justin Herbert's not going to play at all in the preseason. They're hoping he can start in the regular season. Plantar fascia in his right foot. They're saying he's going to need about 2 weeks in a boot, followed by a graduated return to play protocol. Explain what plantar fascia is, what exactly Justin Herbert's dealing with, and is this the kind of stuff that could affect him like all season long, or is this just a really kind of a pain tolerance thing?
Yeah, the plantar fascia is a thick piece of connective tissue on the bottom of your foot, and when you have plantar fasciitis, it literally feels either one of two things, like you're stepping on a rock on your heel, or you're stepping on a knife right in the middle of your foot, and the knife in the middle of the foot is pretty debilitating because you can't push off, you can't do anything. The good news is it's usually really treatable pretty quickly if you get in aggressively, unless they can't find the exact reason of why it's happening. Then it could be a chronic plaguing thing the entire season. I mean, he literally could be fine tomorrow, or he might be in and out of the boot all season long.
In my experience with plantar fasciitis, it's been with younger athletes as their feet were growing. They would grow and there's something that would get inflamed. Is it less typical for the older you get to deal with that, or is it just a repetitive use issue?
It's more person to person. So a lot of young people get them because their feet are flat and they haven't fully developed. And so because your feet are flat, it puts a lot more strain on the plantar fascia. It doesn't have a good arch to it. And so you can get arch supports and things like that. But as you get older, if you start to get some bone spurs or you have previous ankle sprains, other things that make the joints tight, then it can also contribute to plantar fasciitis. I don't think it's really an age-related thing. It's more of a abuse to your foot-related thing.
That is Dr. Jason Garrett from Arasti. Good luck at the games, the CrossFit games. Don't blow it. Don't choke for your team and your country. Like some of these bozo Olympians. Just do your best, but do better than other people. That's all that matters.
All right, thanks, guys.
We'll talk to you next week.
Dr. Garrett competing.
I like it.
This cat, have you seen these dudes? This is not your average kind of get together. These are world class, doing some world class kind of ridiculous stuff.
I won't be shocked if they put that into the Olympics. Like
It would make sense.
There's a lot of stuff.
If they're already competing and they have a method of deciding what a winner and a loser is, I don't know why you wouldn't do it.
I will say though, like a lot of the stuff that, and Dr. Garrett, I'm sure he knows how to do things safely, but like a lot of the people who, the detractors of CrossFit, I should say that the form that they use is like can often lead to long-term issues. And I don't know if the Olympics wants to showcase that. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, Arasti, as a provider of Arasti and also a competitor, I think that's probably a pretty high point of emphasis is proper form and technique.
I would think so. Let's talk to Coach McCarthy, who we're hearing from every day now, which is kind of nice. We've gotten to that point in camp where we're gonna get a little something out of him every day. And they asked him yesterday about the running back room, which we talked about quite a bit. But here's what he thought about Royce Freeman and Deuce Vaughn, a couple guys that are competing for spots.
Yeah, Royce, we're going to look at Royce before we go out there. So he's a maybe. Deuce, I don't think Deuce is going to make it today.
That's not a good sign for Deuce Vaughn. And Deuce has been struggling to get out on the field. He's already kind of a borderline guy. It's funny when he left that interview room, I was like, I like this dude.
You root for him.
He's a guy, dude. I don't know what a better way to put this, so I'll just say it the way I think it. You're not his size and successful in life unless you just work your ass off. And he seems like a dude who wants to work his ass off. But, man, the odds are just stacked against you when you're playing a game with giants. The odds are stacked against you. And if you're not healthy enough to be out there and show that you belong with the giants, chances are good you're not going to.
Yeah, he's a luxury pick. I mean, he's a luxury thing to have. He's a gadget. He'll always be a gadget. He doesn't like that term, but there's only certain places and times that a guy that's 5'5" or whatever he might be is applicable in the modern NFL world. There's a reason why he's been running with the wide receivers, because there is some skill in space. But at the end of the day, he can't do any special teams. He can only play that position. He can't cover anything. He's not going to be returning kicks and probably not punts. So there's really just not a lot of spot for him. It's unfortunate. A good guy, but this is like we talked about it earlier. You got to put on your big boy pants and accept what's going on around you. And this is not going to be a long-term NFL career for him. It's sad.
In the next segment, we're going to hear some sound on him talking about the joint practices and the fights that have been breaking out, like the Rams-Giants fights. And I want to see what he thinks about, or Chargers-Giants fights. I want to see what he thinks about that. The other thing that he talked about yesterday was Micah Parsons, who, remember earlier in the training camp, Micah Parsons was kind of banged up, missed a practice here and there. Well, apparently Micah Parsons is all better now. Here's what he had to say about Micah.
Yeah, I guess he had a hell of a film review. I missed it. I'm on the offensive side of the ball, but yeah, he's had some big time flash plays, but yeah, same breath. I mean, I think all of us, both sides of the ball, we got work to do. We got to be better, and yes, when he gets a matchup, he's going to win them. That's a big part of his gift, but we got to make sure we're giving him the type of work that he needs, because I think he's clearly established himself in this league. And you talk to other coaches around the league, and you just watch the games. I mean, he's gonna be double teamed, he's gonna be chipped, and they're gonna run the ball at him. That's kind of the Micah game plan. So, but we're not able to just line up and do that to him. We're installing. So, but yeah, he's definitely the lighter weight it's different. I mean, he is He's got an incredible motor on him, and his ability to cut the corner is, we had a really cool blitz pattern yesterday. That was, first time I ran it, so put him in a great spot. So, and it's great work for the offense to see all those things too. But yeah, so we're definitely doing things to try to help him. But his world's going to be one of attention as long, for the rest of his career.
Here's a hot take from AJ. If the Cowboys offense can be above average, I don't think they have to be, because I've said this a lot. They can't be better than they were last year. There's no way this offense can be better than it was a year ago because their people are worse. Their personnel are just not as good as they were a year ago. But if the offense is still solid, Micah Parsons may have made a really good decision by backing off the whole I want to get paid right now thing. Because Micah Parsons might have a defensive player of the year type season this year. And if he does, he's going to completely reset the market, I think, for pass rushers.
The problem with what he wants and how he's going to get there, it will probably involve at least one, maybe two franchise tags.
It might.
I mean, that's not a bad thing. He's going to get paid a lot, but I see in Micah's future at least one, maybe two franchise tags.
That's a guy who, listen, franchise tag, like the thought is, oh, why would you want a franchise? Just pay. The franchise tag can be a good thing for teams. It is a good thing for teams because especially if you've got a top 5 guy.
And, he might appreciate it, especially if what goes down is what I expect and this team is in utter disarray. You might enjoy that franchise, get paid a lot of money and keep your options open.
But Nick Bosa's getting $34 million. I think eventually Micah Parsons is going to get more than $34 million.
He's going to get 40 by the time he signs a real deal.
All right, we'll hear more sound from McCarthy, including on how he feels about the fights. Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville.
Dave Ramsey here. The only water softener I recommend is a quality water softener from Connecticut. It really is the last water softener you'll ever own.
ConnecticutSA.com.
And tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
Selling your home is full of catch-22s. Do you pay for upgrades like new flooring and fresh paint to sell for more, or put that money toward your dream home? Jason Minix here from San Antonio Sports Star. I want to tell you about Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program, where you can do both. Get more money for your current home and put more money down on your new one. Here's how it works. Orchard makes you an impressive backup cash offer for your old home. That unlocks cash for you to buy and move into your new home. Next, your Orchard team handles the repairs and upgrades on your old home at no upfront cost. Then your local Orchard agent lists, shows, and sells your home on the market. One customer said, quote, Orchard sold my home for more than I expected and I got a golf cart. Home selling doesn't have to be a catch-22. With Orchard, get expert guidance and top dollar for your home. Visit Orchard.com and start with your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com. Orchard.com.
Sherry, what have you done to your hair?
What do you mean? Does it not look good?
It doesn't look good. It looks freaking amazing. I can't believe how thick and healthy it looks. Oh, I must know your secret.
No secret. It's hair volume from New Nordic.
Hair volume, huh? Well, it certainly lives up to its name. Your hair has never looked so thick. It is gorgeous.
I was so tired of having thin and brittle hair. Ugh, and the shedding. So I figured I'd give hair volume a try. Needless to say, I'm thrilled with the results. Hey, where are you going?
I'm going to pick up some hair volume right now. My reunion's next month and I want my hair to look as good as yours.
Hair Volume is the best-selling hair tablet in the world and one of many award-winning natural health products from New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Scandinavia. Purchase at newnordicusa.com or your local Walgreens, Rite Aid, or CVS. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Help your hair look full, voluminous, and beautiful again at newnordicusa.com, Walgreens, Rite Aid, or CVS.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Connect to this radio station from all across the country. Take us to the gym, shopping. How about a road trip? Listen to us now on the free iHeartRadio app. You'll never miss a moment with your favorite radio station. Download the free iHeartRadio app and search for this station so we can go wherever you want us to.
The Australian Pink Floyd Show. First Class Traveling Set World Tour 2024. August 22nd, Boeing Center at Techport. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. The Australian Pink Floyd Show.
TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine is excited to announce a partnership that is revolutionizing access to care for orthopedic patients. The HURT app provides free 24/7 access to orthopedic expertise. HURT is the app to have before you need it. Don't wait for an injury to happen. Download HURT now for free, fast virtual access to orthopedic specialists. The HURT app is available online in the App Store and Google Play. Learn more about the HURT app and the OrthoNow Injury Clinic at TSAOG.com.
San Antonio Sports Star. San Antonio Sports Center.
Dallas Cowboys added practice talent, signing linebacker Nick Vigil and Darius Harris, along with defensive tackle Albert Huggins. Team USA routed Brazil 122-87. France beat previously unbeaten Canada 82-73. In local news, Texas West from Bernie beat Louisiana 6-3 and are heading to Williamsport for the Little League World Series. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Got a hell of a handball match going here. Quarterfinals between France and Germany.
Is it a match or a game?
I like to call everything a match. Okay. Sometimes I call it baseball match, football match.
That's not right.
I don't care. It's right to me.
Match?
Yeah, basketball match.
Doesn't sound right.
That?
That's like saying you play sports.
Sometimes,
Did you have a sports match today?
I like to say that. Sometimes I'll say he's a good sports player.
You're a sports player?
Yeah, you're a good sports player. That guy is really good sports player. And the sports players for France are beating the sports players for Germany right now, 25-22. I don't know how the timer works. I think it might be an hour game. So there's like 16 minutes left.
Do they count up or down?
Count up, I believe. Like a soccer game.
Who's Euros?
Like a soccer game, not a soccer match. Soccer game.
So that's a game.
That's a game. Soccer's a game. Oh. Football's a match.
That was the other way around. We play the game.
To me,
you play to win the match. That doesn't sound right.
Oh, that does sound cool.
Ah, you play to win the game.
Soccer's way more of a game. Like match implies combat in my mind.
See, to me, it's the other way around. I think match sounds like, well, let's go sit down and look at each other.
Like a boxing match.
Yeah. Yeah. Why is it a boxing match and not a game?
Because it ain't
Keep
a game.
Score.
It ain't a game.
It's a game.
No.
There's a winner and a loser.
It's a match.
What is rugby?
That's a match.
What is highlight?
Well, that's a match. You can die in that.
Then what's a game?
Soccer. Not for real.
Ask a couple of them.
You could die if you score an own goal in Colombia.
Well, yeah, if you're a Colombian ref, take you out easily.
That's the only way. Mike McCarthy, we started on his sound and we were rudely interrupted by a break. So I told Vic, we're skipping the next break. I don't care what he says. You watch 9:14 when we normally break. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to go all the way to 9:30.
It's an Olympic event.
So, Vic, whenever you're like doing this and saying, "Oh, take a break. It's time to take a break," I'm going to ignore him. I just want everybody in the room to know right now, I'm an outlaw, a rebel, Dottie.
He'll just turn your mic off.
No, he won't. I'm going to try and turn my mic off. He's got more power than
I'll tell you.
He shouldn't have more power than me.
He's got his finger on the button, man.
I was trying to hold my button down. He still overrode me.
He has the power to not cover up an inadvertent word.
But you know what?
You let that slip out if you want to do.
If he turns my mic off, I'll just keep yelling. And
that's not good for anybody.
They'll pick me up over your microphone.
That's, like I said, yelling isn't good for anybody.
Mike McCarthy was asked about the joint practices that are coming up. And first they asked him about the fights with Daniel Jones apparently is he's a big thug. He's like Scotty Scheffler level
scrapper.
Thug. Yeah, he's a scrappy lad.
Tough Duke kids.
You know what? Pretty much everybody that comes out of Duke, they consider tough.
Just tough streetwise, really.
Yeah, hard. But they asked him about those fights and if he's concerned with the Rams this week.
No, it doesn't. I think like anything in our industry, I mean, it's all calculated on why you do things. I like the way Sean runs his program. We talked, early in the spring about working together. We had the first experience. I thought it went well. I think we had one quick fight. Yeah, and I mean, no one. I know just the teams I've worked with. It's a waste of time. I mean, I don't want guys fighting. That's not toughness. It's lack of discipline. And we want the work to get to that emotional edge, to push each other. But you got to handle those spots. That's all part of the emotional challenge in the game of football. So yeah, I'm not looking for that. I know Sean's not looking for it either. So, but yeah, there's no concern. But we want to have a hell of a practice. That's why we're working together, and I think the work Thursday will be great.
I got news for you, Coach. I don't think in the history of joint practices have two coaches ever said, "I want our guys fighting. How about you?" Yeah, it'd be good if they fought. They always say, "I don't want that. I don't want our team fighting."
They want a little.
Sean doesn't want his team fighting.
I'd rather my guys be fighting other guys than my guys. There's going to be a fight.
There's always a fight.
There's going to be. The coaches know it. They all acknowledge that they don't want it, but secretly they all want it. You want your guys amped up, ready to go against guys that if they do fight, that if they something bad happens, at least it's not my team. Only one guy involved. No one wants a broken hand, and you got to be. Anybody who's played football long enough knows don't take off your helmet. And if you do take off your helmet and you break your hand, it's your fault.
If you do take off your helmet, swing it like a weapon at Mason Rudolph, like Myles Garrett did.
You should. Like
that's the only proper use.
I'll tell you what. If I was a coach, the best practices are these. The controlled practice against another team are always the best practices. Always.
Why do you think that?
Because you get to be almost 100%. No matter how hard you try to make a team, you go 100% against one guy. It's a different feel. A controlled scrimmage is always a better practice if run right than just a regular practice. Now, you can't do controlled scrimmages every day, but let me tell you, if these are run right, and every NFL guy would much prefer, and I would even prefer watching a controlled scrimmage than a preseason game. I'd just soon watch both teams get 40 snaps, play 40 snaps on defense, 40 snaps on offense, 10 snaps of special teams. Let's call it a day. And I don't care what the score is. I will get a better evaluation of what my team looks like. The score doesn't matter anyway. And I'll get to see the guys I want to see get the reps against the guys. And I know it's coming. It's 40 straight snaps or whatever it might be. This is the best thing for NFL guys right now.
You know what you just did inadvertently, Rob? You led me into my next clip.
Well, that's
you
why
didn't even know this was coming.
Professionals,
man, look at you.
I see the clip list.
Oh, well, they also asked McCarthy if this Rams joint practice is basically a preseason game, which would be kind of what you're saying. Like
I'd much rather do this.
Let's see what he said.
I think it's just really a high quality practice, because I think at the end of the day, it's not live. But it's a chance to go full speed, uncommon opponent. We've been practicing against each other since we arrived here. But yeah, I think games are always different. There's, you're on different time clocks. The structure's different. It's still a controlled practice environment that we'll compete in. So, but I'm looking forward to an excellent practice with those guys.
It sounds like kind of like he agrees. It's not a game, but it's certainly a better practice setup than just a solo practice.
It doesn't help, and what we also don't realize a lot of time is the preseason is also for coaches. It's also for process implementation. It's how the plays are going to be called. It's how things are going to be signaled up from the booth downstairs, upstairs to downstairs. Who's going to be near the phones? Who's going to have all the stuff? That matters. And especially with the Cowboys and McCarthy, not that it's been recent, but in the past, there have been some clock management issues. So some of this, the game stuff, I think, might be almost as more important to those new coaches and new positions, at least early on in the preseason.
Well, and I think there's some people make a mistake in thinking that scrimmaging or going against another team is the best practice. Like,
no, it's not, but controlled scrimmaging is.
That is good. It's almost like to me, sparring is better for you when you're about to fight than sitting through a class and like doing drills over and over again.
Well, what is the old wooden quote? Never mistake activity for effort.
Yeah.
Never mistake the two. Just because you're busy doesn't mean you're doing anything good. And that's why I love these organized, consistent practices against teams that are out there to get you, not personally, but as a team, and you get, scheme and all that other kind of stuff. That's why most coaches for the longest time wouldn't do these mixed practices. Now every team does it.
30 out of 32. I don't know who the two aren't, but they must not get along.
I'm telling you.
Because everybody picked a partner, and then like the last two left. It's like
it must be like well, is it like the Chargers and Carolina? Are they so far apart? It'd be the travel because they were late to the dance. Because I didn't know it was all 30. I didn't know it was 30 or 32. It's grown that much.
30 of 32 teams. I'm going to find out. I got to find out. Maybe Vic, you can look that up. See who the two teams are that aren't doing joint practices this year. But I like to assume that maybe their coaches just hate each other, or
their owners are just too cheap to pay for.
Yeah, there's some really nasty reason why they won't do it. I like the idea of that. I don't know if that's true, but
the Browns and the Bengals, they just won't. No,
yeah,
never.
No way, Bubba. We're not working with you at all. No joint practices. Chiefs and the Raiders, hated rivals.
Pretty close. Nope, not going to practice against those guys. Hate them.
That's right.
They'll do something. Put something in the water.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, but 30 out of 32 teams. I think it is valuable. I think it is, dude. You can work with your own guys all you want.
And here's the good, and you can work with your own guys, and you also get to protect them. I mean, certainly video will be out and people will be watching, and you'll get the video of an errant pass, but you can go run a play that might not be absolutely successful on national TV and go run it in practice. And it doesn't work. Hey, run it back. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
And you could do that in that kind of practice. You eat up a snap, but you get the ability to make it work. You're better for it.
So I liken this to when I was fighting. When you spar with the guys at your gym, it's safe. Those guys don't want to hurt you. They're wanting to make you better, but they don't want to hurt you. When you fight, the other guy he's literally trying to hurt you. He doesn't care about you being better. He wants you to be hurt and done. When you go spar with other gyms, it's like the perfect mix, because it's agreed upon that, hey, we're here to get better. We're working on ourselves. This isn't a real fight. This isn't going on anybody's record. No one's going to get money for this. We're helping each other get better. But there's also the healthy fear of, hey, it could get turned up at any moment. It could get aggressive. There is always that healthy fear that this guy might try and hurt you. He might try and make an example. But I think that's the sweet spot where you get the most out of it, when it's not quite a friendly practice, but it's also not all out war.
Would you schedule a practice like this with the Rams or whoever it might be, knowing that you are going to play them in the regular season?
Yeah, I don't care.
I wouldn't do that.
Really?
I'd only scrimmage or do that kind of stuff against somebody I wasn't going to play at all.
Okay. I mean, I don't blame you, but I just think like most of these guys.
No, I get it. And then we're talking about months from now, but still there's something to it. I don't want any of my guys going in against somebody that they have any kind of doubt about their success. Even though
that's a good point.
That's one of the things I would avoid because I might be running some plays that I might not use for a couple of months. That'd be the one thing that I'd go, well, we can't do that. I'm not going to scrimmage those guys because I don't want to see them again.
Yeah. But also, I mean, you can show what you want to show.
All that, I think the Rams and the Cowboys are naturals.
I think you play with so much more vanilla than you would, if you weren't playing that team. Like it would be basic, and I don't think anybody would be trying to go out of their way to win. But yeah, I think I mean, especially if I had like a long-term partner,
right?
That's
and the Rams and the Cowboys are naturals. They're practicing an hour apart. It would be something probably regularly every year.
That's what I would try to do. I'd try to find, especially. And, who knows how long Mike McCarthy's around, but if it's the same coaches every year, you've got to respect for each other. The
Texans and the Saints were like that for a long time with Obes and Peyton.
They were. So if you can find that partner, I think that's a good thing. But yeah, I think it's also better than switching it up every year. And because again, the more guys, the more comfortable they are with each other, the less likely they are to start swinging helmets.
That's also familiarity brings contempt. And it's also a lot more fun practice to go see.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm going to go pay, like you have to pay on a lot of these things, I'd rather go see kind of a fake game.
Ideally, it would be the Chargers instead of the Rams because you'd rather not. I mean, the Rams are. Chances are good the Rams and the Cowboys are both in the NFC playoffs. Like, if you play the Chargers in the playoffs, it means something awesome's happened. But if it's, the Rams and Cowboys could play in the first round. Like, I could see how that's not ideal.
Or you pick and choose who's got the best defensive backfield out there. And I got a young quarterback. I want to see him go against these guys a couple times.
But I would, if I were a head coach, I would try to find a long-term partner and say, hey, let's do this for the next. Let's have like a 3-year deal. Or 4-year. We'll do it twice at your place, twice at mine. Let's make it happen.
Sell tickets, make some money. Have some fun.
Yep. It'll be interesting to see how this, I think that with the Giants and the Chargers, once one fight happens, it tends to lead to the next one and the next one and the next one. But that's also, to me, Brian Daboll and Harbaugh are both kind of like, kind of the rah-rah, like, yeah, let's get after their asses kind of guy. McVay and McCarthy don't seem like that.
No, they're more the precision types. But, you go scrimmage against Detroit, it's going to be a tussle. There's just going to be.
Yep. Let's look at the more sound from Mike McCarthy, by the way. They asked him about Stephon Diggs, and how he is progressing.
We're just as excited as he is, and he looks great. He's so damn competitive. I think Trayvon is clearly one of the most competitive players, practice players, game day players that I've been around. When he crosses the white lines and it's time to compete, he's all in. That's when he's at his best. But we got to go through the process. We got to trust the timeline. Britt's been with him since day one through this return to play process. So we'll just stay the course. But yes, I agree. I thought he did a little more work yesterday, and then we probably laid out, and that just kind of shows where he is. But he's doing good.
Did I say Trayvon or Stephon?
I think you said Trayvon.
Okay,
you were correct.
Well, okay, good. As soon as I started, I was like, oh, did I say the right
You'll
one?
be able to say either or here in about 2 years.
Yeah, probably so.
Stephon gets here.
Oh, is that the case? Or Trayvon leaves?
I think Trayvon. Well, he's kind of locked in for a minute or two.
Yeah.
But
well, so is Stephon now.
Yeah, that's right. He did get up.
Yeah,
so he'll just stay in Texas.
Diggs is such an interesting piece this year because luckily someone else stepped up last year when he was gone. I'm interested to see how this Cowboys secondary comes together. I believe this can be a real strength for them.
It has to be, AJ. If it's not, the season will be terrible. If it is a real strength, they have a fighting chance. It doesn't mean there will be, but if they can play, if their pass defense can keep the big play down and never put the Cowboys in a situation where they got to come from deep and behind, they go from a difficult season, which is going to be, to maybe a wild card S team. I think that the most important part of what's going to come up this year, we're talking all about the offense. It's going to be how well the defense acclimates to Zimmer and how well these defensive backs keep the big play from going down. They're going to the focus on stopping the runs there. They're going to do everything they can to stop the run this year. That's what Zimmer's here. They changed the scheme. If those backs can stay healthy, Jordan Lewis included, those guys, that could be the best room on the roster and could be the very reason why this team saves itself from utter catastrophe.
Well, and the other thing is when you've got a guy like Micah Parsons, if you're not good in the secondary, it's a personnel problem.
And least of their issues is the personnel. Seriously, you've got two all NFL, almost all pro level cornerbacks, considering what we saw from Bland. Legitimately, they cut no big plays. They keep teams to 21 to 28 points a game. The Cowboys have a shot. That's really their only way, because I don't think, no matter how, as you've said, there's no way the offense can do what they did last year. So how are they going to maintain or get better? The defense just has to improve on what has already been stellar.
Last one I wanted to get on from McCarthy here was about the awkward situation with his contract and with his staff's contracts. Mike McCarthy was asked about how the coaching staff was looking at this sort of make it or break it year.
Well, that's a great question. But our coaching staff's already made of diamonds, so we're already there. I think those conversations that frankly for us were really back in February. But once you make the commitment and you understand the opportunity, the coaching staff said, we're having fun. We love coaching these guys. We got a great locker room to work with. The facilities, the whole 10 yards. We talk about the training camp environment. We're great. Media's been tolerable. I mean, it's been a hell of a camp. So,
tolerable.
So that's really where we are. But we're looking forward. I mean, it's a privilege to play and coach in this league. And trust me, none of us ever lose sight of that. And really want to make the best of this great opportunity in front of us.
That's the right thing to say. I'll give him that.
And we will all go down together.
It's the right thing to say.
It wasn't any past tense words used.
He didn't
say anything in past tense.
I didn't hear,
but he was real close to it.
Yeah, unlike Christian McCaffrey, who called Brandon Ayuk's former teammate.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't say how much he enjoyed past tense coaching the Cowboys, but it certainly felt like it.
We have that clip. Hang on, this is Christian McCaffrey on the NFL Network.
That that's not part of my job. It's not part of my position. I think obviously as a former teammate or teammate of his in general, any teammate that you have, you love, you respect them, you want the best for them.
As a former teammate, I don't know. I hadn't seen him at practice. I assume he's off the team.
Well, he's around. He's holding in. I just saw him. He's just.
I see him in the. I see him at lunch. That's about it, though.
Well, McCarthy didn't say, "Man, it has been a pleasure." He didn't say that. But he was real close to past tense.
It's been a
real joy. I mean, it is a real pleasure.
I love it. I still love it today. Still,
and what do you say? We talked about it in February. Yeah, we all cried into our beer in February when we knew it was over.
Normally we don't cross the street to talk about the Texans, but we do have some sound from Bobby Slowick. Talking about what's going on at Texans camp, which other than rain, it seems like that's been kind of ruling the day. Not our problem out in Oxnard, I'll tell you that much.
None.
I mean, it almost rained once.
They got that bubble
weird.
with air conditioning.
That's true.
That holds about 40 dudes.
That's true. They need that air conditioning.
Go across the street, practice inside.
Did we need air conditioning in Oxnard?
Not to my knowledge, no.
No,
that came with the 68 and sunny.
Only at the beach house when we slept. That's the only time we needed to crank
even then,
down
it was
the
a
AC.
luxury. We could have opened the window.
We could have, but we would have heard like all the seagulls and stuff. I didn't
But I'm a
do
Texan. I burn my fossil fuel.
But they asked Slowick about CJ Stroud, which I think that's the guy that everybody's going to be watching this year. Here's what he had to say. And by the way, this coach, I think the Texans are so lucky that he did not jump ship, because this dude's going to be a head coach. It's just a matter of when. I think this is so great for CJ Stroud to have another year with this guy, because you don't want Stroud to get into the Justin Herbert mold of a new OC every year. It becomes really difficult, I think, on young guys. So for him to keep this is a huge deal. But here's what he had to say about CJ.
Yeah, truthfully, training camp and preseason, we kind of emphasize, I guess you could say, the starting point of our scheme. And that goes back to what I preached earlier about fundamentals and really hammering and drilling those in. Like in training camp, you're not always going to be in a great position to do what you need to do. I'm not always going to script a great play call for CJ to go and throw to number one. I might intentionally script a play where he has to get all the way to last in the progression as an outlet. Like, we want it to be hard. And they embrace that. They know that. There's days it gets frustrating for all of us, and there's days where, we really are on our game and we go out and we perform like we believe we should, and we got to keep those. We got to get more consistent right now. That's what this is about. That's what scheme-wise, that usually takes off, evolves as we go through the season. As coaches, you're always talking about ideas. You kind of have a library as you go through the offseason. Oh, this is a good way to do this. This is a nice new little wrinkle. But training camp, you're focused in on, this is what we need to do every week, no matter what we're doing schematically to go win a game.
CJ is so interesting to me this year because I don't believe there should be pressure on CJ Stroud. I think there will be some, but CJ Stroud, if he wins 5 games this year, he's already exceeded expectations through 2 years.
Oh, he's already there. Yeah, he did it last year.
So to me, anything that CJ does well this season is icing on the cake. You know that he's the right guy. I don't know if the Texans lucked into it or not. I don't know if the Texans would have taken Bryce Young if they had the first pick. I tend to believe they would have. They will tell you that they wanted CJ all along. I don't believe it, but whatever. It's neither here nor there at this point. But they've got the right guy. It's just a matter of how much does the league adjust to him this year. I expect the league will adjust to him some. I don't think he's going to be bad by any stretch, but I do think that there's going to be points this year where he doesn't look as crisp as he did a year ago, and people are going to be like, uh-oh, I don't know if he's that good. Dude, he's that good. He's very, very good. It's just a matter of, this is the way it works. You show up year one and you dominate, the league adjusts to you. You show up year one and you suck. Typically, if you're worth a damn, you adjust to the league. And that's the way quarterbacks have always worked.
And Slowick is, he's a Shanahan acolyte. He's got an offense that's going to protect him.
No doubt.
I mean, Stroud's never going to be in a tough situation, never going to be put in the same situation that a gunslinger type quarterback for an entirely different coach would be. He's always going to have safe reads and a place to go with it. Shanahan does not allow his quarterback to lose a game for you.
And the other question to Slowick was about the running back room. Here's what he had to say about his backs, which, by the way, are better than the Cowboys' backs.
It's a fun group to coach. Joe kind of leads the way, even though he hasn't been practicing. His energy's always there. He's always around. He's even when we're on the field, he's running around the huddle, getting people hyped up. So he's the driving force for sure. And then the rest of the crew kind of feeds off that. Damien's feeding off that. He's putting his head down, working. He's made huge strides from where he was at last year and what he's grown in and what he's trying to do. Cam is obviously the newest to the crew, but he's been running a lot of very similar stuff in LA for a long time. And then in Minnesota, it was pretty similar as well. So it's not completely new to him, and he picked it up quick. You can see the talent and the vision and the cutting ability, which is impressive coming off the 2 injuries he had. So he's been fun. We got the 2 young rookies, that rookies are always enjoyable because they always just bring something new to the table. And then, Dara and JJ, they're really the 2 probably the two most consistent guys. You know, they day in, day out, they bring the lunch pail. And they're pretty even keel all the way through, and it's a fun group.
Having Joe Mixon and Cam Akers, two solid vets, and then having a guy like Dameon Pierce, who I think Dameon Pierce is Dameon Pierce is gonna be really good when he gets away from the Texans, and that sounds weird, but Dameon Pierce is a good running back who isn't a real fit for this scheme, which is why they felt like they needed to go out and get someone like Joe Mixon.
Man, Joe Mixon's best thing ever happened to C.J. Stroud. 3rd and 4 suddenly got a whole lot easier.
I think so too.
Dude, I mean, of all the things that happened to him, and picking up Diggs was great, and the health of the offensive line will improve. Now he's got a running back behind him that will not only protect him and pass, but will go get 4 yards. It was a huge go get him, far bigger than Diggs in my mind. Getting him a back that is a consistent, 100 yards a game is kind of one of those old benchmarks, but he's a consistent 25 carry a game back that will just take some heat off of him. I think that was as big a get from Slowick and Ryans in their offseason as anything they did.
Well, Diggs is awesome, but they already had Nico Collins. They already had Tank Dell.
They've already had studs, but a running back that you can just turn and hand the ball to behind this offensive line will go get you 3.5, 4 yards on those 2nd and longs or those 3rd and shorts. Man, it just makes his life so much easier. And that's one of those things he didn't have last year and survived quite well without. Now when he has a little bit of protection, that's that one little ace in the hole that I think Slowick is looking at going, man, it's going to be a bit easier because suddenly play action is a threat. When I suddenly play action and Mixon and I got Diggs and once Tank is fully healthy heading downfield, that matters now where he couldn't do that last year.
Gilberto asked, how did Zeke and company look at camp? Speaking of the Cowboys running backs.
A little slow, man. The running back room is the weakest room in all the Cowboys roster. Anything will be of benefit. I really look at it right now. Anything that the backs can offer will be of benefit. This is a 45 to 50 pass offense.
If the Cowboys aren't 32nd in rushing, like if they're 28th, to me, that's better than.
It's a bonus. They're a 40 pass game.
That's what they've got to be.
If
they're going to win, they're going to have to. It's going to be all on Dak, which makes it interesting when you start thinking about that $60 million again.
Mm-hmm. You're going to get plenty of opportunity to throw it.
All right, let's hit a break. When we come back, we'll do our last segment of the day where we'll take a look at the daily lines, and we've got an update on another Dallas-Fort Worth area mega church pastor.
Oh, somebody's sinning.
It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Every weekend, we look forward to practicing our grilling arts. We're heading to the end of the summer. The big four, the big three are in the past. We only have one big grilling holiday up. You might as well be practicing like you play, right? Head over to Tri-County Meat Market today and get ready for a fine weekend of grilling. The sun is up high. You might as well put the fire out there, put some meat on the grill. Specials every week to kind of tease you into the store, but you need to be going regularly, whether you're picking up one of those special T-bones, one of those out of this world bone-in ribeyes or bone out. You like yourself a New York stripper. Maybe you're a porterhouse type. They have them all right there in that cooler. And if they don't have them, they're going to go cut them for you exactly like you want them. The prepared foods are always spectacular. They add their perfect flair. The seasoning on their fajitas is as good as you will find at any restaurant. It's already bagged up, ready to go. Tender like you love it. You can cut it with a warm breath. Don't leave any one of the two tri-counties without all the rubs, without all the charcoal or the pellets that you might need to enhance your grilling game. They say it, a great meal always starts with great meat from Tri-County Meat Market. Head over to either one. Take advantage of the 5 for 25. Don't walk out the door without putting your name on the email list so you know the specials before anybody else out there. That's Tri-County Meat Market over on Huebner, out on Ralph Fair. Head over to either one, put some good meat on the grill, celebrate appropriately, and come and thank me later.
San Antonio's Sports Star.
El Guacamole Mexican Grill on 25020 Blanco Road is now ready to serve up the cold drinks with your favorite Mexican dish. Come celebrate the grand opening of their bar this August 15th and get a free margarita only at El Guacamole Mexican Grill, 25020 Blanco Road.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
The Australian Pink Floyd Show, First Class Traveling Set World Tour 2024, August 22nd, Boeing Center at Techport. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. The Australian Pink Floyd Show.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. J.D. Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now, during our biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Limited time. For J.D. Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
With Progressive's Home Quote Explorer, you can check if you're paying too much for home insurance, because giving you options is the right thing to do.
Oh, you mean like when I let someone with less groceries go ahead in line? Sure, there's a part of me that thinks, if you only need 3 things, maybe go to a convenience store next time. And now they're sifting through coupons and my frozen foods are about to be not frozen.
But still, it's the right thing to do. So compare rates with Progressive's Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential. But finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey, this is Greeny. Join me today at 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Yeah, Gilbert's laughing when I said 28th rank in rushing is a win. I'm saying when you got the 32nd best rushing room, you got the 32nd best room. If you get the 28th, that's positive, right?
I still believe while Zeke will be the penciled in starter, Royce Freeman might have some potential. There might be something there, but that's a desperate wish. You know,
Man,
a lot of things got to go right.
Yeah, we did the exercise yesterday. Rob said, who's got a worse running back room?
Be hard to find.
The Raiders are the only one, I think, even in the discussion. They're in the discussion, don't get me wrong, but I think anybody else, like, all I got to do is think of one guy on their team. I'm like, yep, they're better.
You know,
better,
when I saw that the Cowboys had made some moves to add some, practice bodies, I was expecting to see a running back. brought in Nick Vigil.
But a
Darius
practice,
Harris, and
another
Albert
running
Huggins.
back that you can add right now ain't going to help.
Oh, no, I was just thinking another body or maybe something to throw at this because you just feel like we've got, Zeke's going to be there and Freeman's going to be there. And Dowdle, I think, has earned the right to stay there, but neither one of them is going to be out there. And I guess they're just going to keep 3 backs. I guess that's the plan. Maybe if Deuce shows something, they'll clear out a spot, but I think the room is full. You're right. I don't know any, but there's still guys like Dalvin Cook floating around out there that could land. There's still a chance they might realize they got to upgrade. I doubt it.
I wonder, Dalvin Cook is still out there. I think Kareem Hunt is still out there.
I mean, but I don't know how much of an upgrade those guys are. I mean, how much is it worth?
I don't know. Before we get to the Daily Lions, got a couple stories. One is about a mother in the UK who was trying to take a trip with her kid. And they were going to go to Disneyland Paris.
Oh, okay.
And she got bad news. Her daughter's passport was denied. Why, you might ask? Well, her daughter's name is Khaleesi.
Oh, really? A Game of Thrones fan.
I imagine there were lots of kids named Khaleesi over that little stretch run. And they said we cannot provide a passport as this name needs Warner Brothers approval because they own the trademark to that name. And it's like, well, that's my kid's name. If I wanted to name my kid Pinocchio, by God, Disney can't say a damn thing about it.
No. Not if you, but the reason they would have if you're using that name for personal gain or profit.
Well, I mean, my kid's going to have to get a job at some point.
Well, I would say this. I would be a little concerned if my kid's name was Khaleesi. And in this modern world of social media where your name and your likeness is your brand, and she came out, or he, whatever, I guess it's she, would be Khaleesi. 5 years from now, 10 years from now, suddenly a YouTube sensation named Khaleesi, you could get a cease and desist probably because you're using your name that way. I don't think you'd be able to get around that.
Yeah.
But why a passport? I don't know where it would come into my passport. I would get it if I was trying to start a company, the Khaleesi Thompson, whatever. And they said, well, you can't do that because you're using a trademark name. I could see that, but I'm just trying to get a passport.
I don't understand how that could. I mean, first of all, she got a lawyer, and it's not
okay. That's the trademark doesn't apply to the name.
They had to give it to her. I don't know how they could have thought that was.
My wife had a kid named Espen.
Your wife had
a teacher. She was a teacher. I'm sorry.
Okay.
My wife had a kid named Espen.
Okay, that makes sense. I think I've heard people using that. The kids of Elon Musk, his kids' names I've heard like
Wingspan and Banjo and Coefficient.
When they've got like
formerly known
symbols.
as there are governments. I know that you have to clear the name with the government before they'll let you use it.
I think like if I wanted to name my kid Jesus Christ Hoffman, I don't know that it would be allowed.
Well, there's a lot of Jesuses in the San Antonio phone book, dude.
Right, but none of their middle name is Christ.
I think you would be allowed. There's nothing that says you can't do
that. Let's see. What do you got here?
What if you named him Jesus Christopher?
Pop up your mic, Vic. What are you looking at here?
Illegal baby names.
Yeah, illegal baby names across the world.
Most of them seem to be New Zealand, Saudi Arabia.
You're in Mexico.
China.
You can't name your kid RoboCop.
Apparently not.
Come on. In Germany, you can't name your kid Osama bin Laden.
Well, that's just in defense of this poor child.
I actually
look at this one.
My young son, I thought about naming him Osama bin Laden Hoffman, but my wife nixed it.
Now, some of these I don't get.
Blue, you can't name him in Italy. Circumcision is not allowed in Mexico.
Well, it's allowed. You just can't name them.
You
after
can't
the
name
act.
You can't name your kid Monkey in Denmark? That's
nice.
Oh, in New Zealand, you can't name your kid Anal. That's
This
a bummer.
Anal.
This will be a cool name.
In Portugal, you name your kid Tom. Buddy. No, don't. Not Tom.
You can't name your kid
Judas
in Switzerland.
And Thor is out in Portugal as well. So, and you can't name your kid Metallica in Sweden.
Well, that's a trademark thing.
You also can't name your kid Prince William if you're in France.
Now, that would be funny. What if I lived in Britain? Could I name him?
Yeah, of course.
Prince William's coming?
Yeah, of course.
Well, now it's going to be king.
All right. Elsewhere in North Texas megachurch news, the Cross Timbers Church in Dallas-Fort Worth, they finally came out and admitted why Josiah Anthony, the head pastor, had stepped down. Previously, it was said to be unidentified discretions over the past few years. You're never going to believe what they were.
I think I'll believe it. I don't think you're going to surprise me no matter what you say.
I'm going to shock you with what I say.
You will shock me no matter what you say.
He had to step down because there was a concerning pattern of behavior communicating inappropriately with women, sometimes sexual in nature.
I'm not shocked.
But he's a megachurch pastor.
I know. You'd think that this one of all the others.
Of all, listen, there's two things megachurch pastors never do. Sexually inappropriate things and stealing money from their parishioner things. Those things never have. It's always something else.
Of course. They're God-fearing types.
I can hardly believe it.
So where's this Cross Timbers Church? It's in the
DFW area.
The greater metroplex.
Yeah. But they're saying, we weren't trying to hide this. We just wanted to make sure we got all the details out. Now, by the way, his known actions did not involve any children, which I guess that puts him ahead of some megachurch pastors.
It just shows you where you are when they go, but it could be worse.
Please know that we're not trying to hide it from you. We shared with you what we knew to be true at the time. So apparently there were staff members who had appeared to blame the behavior on his mental health struggles. They decided, well, his depression can't be directly linked to him sending D-pics to the secretary. Exactly. But yeah, kind of. All right, let's take a look at the daily lines there, Vic.
It's the Morning Huddle's look at the daily lines with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Credit where it's due. Rob Thompson yesterday said, I'm putting my money where my mouth is, Bubba. The Chicago White Sox are winning this game, and sure enough,
it was easy.
Easy.
They've been holding back, playing possum.
Never, ever, ever in doubt. They got the job done. We'll talk about baseball here in a minute. First, ladies basketball today at the Olympiad. France takes on Germany. France is a 5-point favorite. I'm not going to pretend like I know anything about these lady basketball teams other than USA, because there's only one team worth discussing. It's not about if they're going to win; it's how many are they going to win by. And today the question is: are they going to win by more than 28.5 points?
And they're playing Nigeria.
I'm going to go. They cover it.
Boy, just like the men seem to be rounding into form, the women are too. That's a big number, but I think it's doable.
I think they're going to whoop that ass. Whoop it, baby. We're a week away. No, maybe not a week. How far away are we from preseason games in the NFL?
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, right?
We got games tomorrow night.
Oh, man. That means on the daily lines tomorrow, we're going to be talking preseason football. I might have some bets too. Let's go to the baseball fields where the Arizona Diamondbacks are at Cleveland. Brandon fought backs. The Guardians send Ben Lively to the mound. Guardians minus 115. The Cubs, Javier Assad, take on the Twins and Joe Ryan. The Twins minus 135. The rubber match in the battle for the silver boot. We got a day game today. The Astros on the road. You say Kikuchi. I say Kakachi.
Welcome to the party, Kakachi.
Oh, now you say Kakachi?
Well, you say Kikuchi.
Well, I typically say Kakachi, but I'll say Kikuchi if you want.
Well, who's on first?
Jose Urania's on first. Jose Urania is up first for the Rangers. He's pitching today for the Rangers. The Astros with Kikuchi on the hill, minus 130.
So this is his first up, right?
No, he pitched once already for them.
How'd he do with first up?
Solid. I think no decision, but solid.
I'm liking some Kikuchi money here.
I think so too. Okay, the big question is this. You were right yesterday. To me, the easy answer is what are the White Sox going to do, win 2 games in a row?
Yes!
That's crazy.
Yes, they're going to win 2 straight. They got a little
crazy.
taste of that sweet nectar of victory. They're a juggernaut. They might whip off 3, maybe 4 wins before the end of the year.
The White Sox are back in the win column. They're 1-0 in their last game. Sure, they're 1-21 in their last 22. But in the last one, undefeated.
You're not going to take the wind out of my sails.
Unstoppable force.
It is the White Sox to. Hey, man, I'm serious. I think they're going to get
going
him
again?
I do. I think they're going to get him again.
The White Sox, Davis Martin on the hill, plus 160. The A's going with Joey Estes.
Oh, Joey Estes. You're
Man.
5 innings to glory, baby. That's all we need.
I'll be honest, Rob. If you go 2-0 betting the White Sox in a season where they might win 30 games total,
it's all about
I'm going to
timing.
be so impressed.
It's about timing, baby.
The LA Angels, they send this is a makeup from yesterday. The Angels and Yankees got rained out, so it's Davis Daniel and Luis Heel who were scheduled for yesterday. They'll go today. The Yankees minus 260 favorites. The Diamondbacks and Guardians, they'll play 2 today. I mentioned their first game earlier. Game 2, at least the scheduled pitchers are Eduardo Rodriguez for the Diamondbacks, Carlos Carrasco for the Guardians. Diamondbacks minus 115 in game 2. Padres at the Pirates. Michael King going for the Padres, minus 160 against the Pirates and Marco Gonzalez. Andrew Abbott going for the Reds. He's a minus 130 favorite on the road against the Marlins, who are throwing one of my favorite pitcher names today, Valente Belozo. It's such a fun name to say, Belozo. It sounds like Bozo, but it's not. And his first name's Valente. How can you not like that guy? Here's my play for the day. San Francisco Giants minus 160. They are on the road at the Nationals. Blake Snell, who, remember this time last year, Blake Snell really started to turn it on and basically down the stretch didn't lose and won himself a Cy Young Award for his efforts. Looks like he's rounding into form. And now he takes on the Nationals, who generally stink. I mean, they stink more on Patrick Corbin Day, and today's Jake Irvin Day. So it's not free money, but I think I'm going to be backing the Giants in this one. Game 2 of the doubleheader with the Angels and the Yankees. Carson Fulmer on the hill for the Angels. Will Warren goes for the Yankees. Yankees minus 310. Whoo-wee. Angels plus 250 might. Oh, God, I don't want to bet on the Angels, but I might have to at that number. That's crazy. Trevor Rogers goes for the Baltimore Orioles. They're minus 135 at Toronto. Bowden Francis for the Blue Jays. The Brewers, the Brew Crew, they're dogs at Atlanta. Freddie Peralta pitching for the Brewers. Chris Sale going for the Braves. Braves minus 160. Taj Bradley going for Tampa against St. Louis, and Eric Fetty, the recently acquired from the White Sox, Eric Fetty. This game's minus 115, basically a pick'em. Cardinals slight favorites. Good matchup in Kansas City. Cutter Crawford and Cole Reagans. Kansas City minus 142 favorite over Boston. And Paul Blackburn goes for the Mets, another trade deadline acquisition. He's minus 155 on the road at Colorado. Ryan Feltner going for the Rockies. We got Tyler Phillips going for the Phillies. Gavin Stone going for the Dodgers. The Dodgers minus 140 favorites. The pitching matchup of the day, though. You always know it's a good pitching matchup when the total is 6 in a Major League Baseball game. Tarek Skubal goes for the Tigers. George Kirby goes for the Mariners. We've made money on both these guys. I'm going to have to sit this one out. I can't. It's like choosing between my favorite kids. George Kirby, a minus 135 favorite. I say that.
Like Kirby.
I might have to take the Tigers.
Really?
I'm getting Skubal as a dog. How often do you get that?
There's a reason.
I know. Damn it. I'll probably sit it out, but I think it's a great matchup. So maybe a game worth watching and not risking money on. That might be the way to go about it. I don't know. Let's see if we can find lines for some of these. Oh, you know what? Before we do the lines for the football game, I guess we'll save the football games for tomorrow. Oh, we don't have time to even get
time. My goodness.
I was going to get ahead a look ahead to the men's games. Germany is a 5-point favorite against France. USA against Serbia. What's the number?
18.
16.5. So maybe you think there's value on the Americans.
I do, finally.
We'll be back, 6 o'clock-ish tomorrow. Blitz at 2. Morning Huddle, 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.